Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and hello, and welcome to the Stackfox Classic Tournament Final Four. My name is Ian Keith. I am joined here by the always wonderful Sleepy Maddie, the one actually doing a lot of the streaming. We have four fantastic players. We have 3 or more matches to play, and we are very, very excited to bring to you some awesome high-level NES Tetris. Maddie, go ahead and
Indeed.
introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Sleepy Matty, the one doing most of the work behind the scenes. And yeah, we have 4 players who battled their way through a very tough top 16 to get all the way to the top 4 here.
Yeah, there were a lot of rounds of play. This has been a double elimination tournament, so we've had a ton of matches, all sorts of incredible results and incredible play. Take a look at the size of this gorgeous monstrosity. We had 16 players qualify for this thing, which is something we didn't even think we'd hit. And look at it now, down to just 4. Coming out of the losers bracket, we're starting off with 20Dan03 versus AV Geek. 2 people that I have had to play against combined like 40 times. Please send help. The winner will go on to face the number 1 seed, who surprisingly went into the losers bracket after a wild match, Jounce. And the winner will go on to face the one who defeated Jounce, T-Storm 281. We have a little intro for our players, don't we?
We do. So let's go ahead and play that. Yeah,
An
there we
awesome
go.
little intro there. Don't mind Dan yelling. But yeah, it's just a short little introduction to some of the matches that our players have had to go through to make it to this point. And that brings us to where we are now.
Yeah, and we do have our first 2 players ready.
So as we get things kicked off here, don't worry, for those of you not familiar with the NES Tetris scene, we are more than happy to help guide you along. These are going to be best of 5 matches. The first to 3 will take the win and move on. Matches are played on level 18 starts. And just the highest score wins the game. Doesn't matter how long it takes to get there. You've only been slightly squished, AV. It's okay. You can see our players here warming up, getting ready and set. I do believe everyone here is going to be playing on the Tetris Gym version of the cartridge, which allows us some pretty neat extra little features, like the ability to give our players the exact same pieces if they so desire. What's also great is we have an example of 2 of the 3 different play styles here in this match. On the left-hand side, 20Dan03, our number 4 seed, is a hyper tapper, as you would call. What he does is just mashes the button as quickly as possible. Sorry, it's also getting followed. That just popped up and interrupted my train of thought. And AV Geek, on the right-hand side of your screen, plays with the delayed auto shift style, the DAS style. Same style that I play as. Except she's better than me, because she's made it farther in the tournament.
Yeah, and gas is a lot harder than it looks. It is rough to be able to play at a high level.
It takes a ton of practice. Honestly, for both of these playstyles, you've got to have a lot of knowledge on how to keep yourself alive, stay as efficient as possible, and know how to score. There's our SPS offer in the chat. SPS standing for same piece sets, as AV shows off something that DAS players should not be able to do, which is scoring lines on 29 starts. 29, the fastest speed that NES Tetris has to offer. Those pieces are falling 1 row every frame. Every frame! Players, you generated seed is in the chat now. 7-4. Charlie Foxtrot. 6 Bravo.
As Dan now showing off tapping on 29, which you can see is a lot more versatile. Able to get the pieces much further left and to the right.
But even at this speed, this game gets extremely difficult to play. That's why for many, many, many years, this has been called the kill screen. Not as much these days, but you'll find that out later. The invite is invalid for the Discord? Alright, well, hold on. Let me grab a new one. Boop. Boop. Copy. Yeah, I got a new link.
To have both our runners ready. We have same piece sets.
Excellent. Then, there's no reason to delay. It's time to play. Game number 1, in! Enter the command, dingus. 3, 2, 1, Tetris! I definitely remembered to do that. There we go. Dan is underway. AV is underway. The Final Four is underway. AV showing half of a heart.
Yep.
And so we get the things kicked off here. You see these players are getting the same exact pieces, which means it's going to come down to a matter of skill. Stacking knowledge, controlling the pieces, knowing what you want to do with them, staying as efficient as possible.
Yeah, and Dan pushing down the first piece, getting that 11-point lead.
I still think Dan stole that strategy from me, because I had a tie once and never again. You see the shake of the head there, though. Dan forced to create a couple of holes in the stack. Tetris is going to bring him some relief, give some room. We're at 93 to 91. Early days in the first game, this best of 5. AV on Transpalette. Yeah, that is a special version of this special version of Tetris. The LGBTris mod. which replaces all the color palettes with various LGBT flags. Veggie pointing out they accidentally rated Dan, not realizing he was in the tournament. Oh, Dan with an excellent couple of setups here, trying to get this column 9 well open. Gets it reopened again, and we'll take the Tetris. 131 for Dan, 128 for AV. Neck and neck is the phrase we like to use.
Yeah, both players trading back and forth Tetrises. As we start to approach that, 50 line mark, the almost halfway.
Almost halfway. At 130 lines, the speed of this game is going to increase. Right now, the pieces are falling at 1 row every 3 frames. At level 19, which starts at 130 lines, it'll go to every 2 frames. Yes, it'll get 50% faster. And then at level 29, it'll go to every frame. The players can't see the scores unless they have the stream open. However, that is why we also provide score updates, like letting our players know right now. AV on 243 at 54 lines. 60 lines for Dan, so he's ahead by a handful of lines and is at 228. So AV with about a Tetris and a half pace lead here as we now approach the halfway mark of the 18 speeds.
Yeah, AV having that 1 Tetris lead from the digging that Dan had to do because, these players are on the same piece set, so every long bar that you don't use for a Tetris and the other person does is a score deficit. But AV's board climbing up high, but gets that bar over to the right-hand side.
Yeah, she's going to be in Dig City for a minute here. A bar for that left side. Oh, but she's going to plug up that dependency first. You see the reaction. The bar's raining down at the worst time, and now she needs one for a very dirty Tetris setup. Gets it over! She's still fighting for her life, but that is some excellent dash control there, just to not hang that bar.
Yeah, AV having to quick tap some of these pieces as the dash just doesn't get it over. And gets this burned down!
That is some excellent survival. The quick taps Matt is talking about a technique where even though you're holding the button down to move the piece, you let go of the controller for literally a frame and then repress the button and it forces the piece to move again. All this digging from AV though has allowed Dan to get into the lead here. The line count has basically evened up. AV on 361, Dan on 371, knocks down a Tetris up to 394, trying to solidify that lead. We're close to the 100 line mark here. The players now will have to start Department of Redundancy Department will now have to keep in mind that the transition is right around the corner.
Yeah, closing in on that 130 line mark. And it's now Dan with the 2 Tetris lead, 421,000 at 105 lines to AV's 373 at 105.
AV having to cover up the well for just a moment, gets it open back up again, but these pieces are just not what she needs. An L or a J for the center would be gorgeous.
Just forced to build this higher and higher. Finally, we'll get a Tetris.
There's the bar. She's up to 403. Dan now at 489 has taken a commanding lead right before transition to game number 1 here. Oh, there's the shift, the gamer sit-up from AV. That's one I know. She's got 1 Tetris left till the transition. She's on 449. Dan's got a little bit of cleanup here, but is at 535. Gonna take that flat Jaybird on the right. And he's just gonna have to burn into transition here, but he does have a lead. AV's gonna go in at 473.
Will immediately score a Tetris to go to 497 and pull back to set up for a Tetris there. Another one to go to 522, closing this gap as Dan is still having to dig.
He's playing the early parts of these increased speeds safe. It's often really important for players to just give themselves some time to get acclimated when the game ramps up like this. Oh my goodness, I'm surprised Dan didn't get set up in column 9 there. Still gonna score a Tetris. He's at 575, but AV now at 572 has come roaring back, and the line counts are all square. AV's gonna take the lead with that Tetris to 599 into level 21.
AV hit the transition and turned on the gas, just absolutely not slowing down at all, not playing safe, saying, screw it, I'm behind, I need to get ahead. And it's paying off, as Dan will score a Tetris to tie things back up just a tiny bit. But AV will respond and go to level 22.
Dan's in 22 at 636. AV's in there 657. About a 1 Tetris lead here. Remember that at level 29, this game basically is going to get nigh unplayable for these players, so they're kind of on a time limit to go with everything else. AV trying to keep this little hole in the center open, will get it taken care of. Dan with a couple misdrops in the meantime. He's got serious digging to do in a hurry.
Yeah, this board can spiral out of control if a few bad pieces come. Gets that square to the right-hand side. And gets the long bar to start burning this back down. Oh, but misses the bar to the left!
Is there anything he can't get anything over? He's going to top out at 673. AV at 730 on the board. Draws first blood in the final 4. GG.
AV will go up 1-0.
Not sure if Molin or just doesn't have audio.
I think,
or both.
I'm pretty sure my side is just delayed, probably. Or Mullen.
Mini Molin
Probably
again,
Mullen.
also stream delay. Ah, it was both. It was both.
There we go.
Also really wanted that Tetris, I think.
Both a little delayed. That can be fixed. Boom. Less delayed. Hopefully.
So let's get that seed increase. Both players are going to increase the first 2 characters of the seed, which is in hexadecimal. We are going to bring it up to 8-5. We got readies on the screen. Maddie, why don't you count us down?
Let's get game number 2 underway in 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
And we have same pieces. Excellent. Everything confirmed. A nice back and forth game 1. A really good battle between these two. I was looking through the bracket as we got things started. I noticed something very entertaining about some of what's happened throughout this tournament. Dan on the left-hand side, every match he's played has been a 3-1 result. So, kind of expecting him to win this one just to keep that tradition going. And then leave some suspense. For those of you unfamiliar with the Tetris community, a lot of us are just fans of each other and playing block game really well, so it's really hard to root for one player over the other. So
Yeah.
we just want to see high scores. High scores and awesome block stack. See Dan's little laughter there at kind of the situation he found himself in. No real danger. There's the bar. There's the score. We are... Oh, there we go. 103 to 119. And the Vits from AV. Smarmy little grin there to go with it. Vits standing for the vertical eye-tuck setup. It is, it started out really as a meme. Just absolutely just a meme in the Tetris community. It's an often completely unnecessary move where you, instead of taking a Tetris, you'll just create a setup where you have to slide the long piece in. It's rarely ever efficient, but it is... It's one of our memes of all time.
Yeah, and early on here, around that 50 line mark, AV with the slight lead. about half a Tetris, as Tetrises on level 18 are worth an amount that I don't remember.
22,800.
That's it. As Dan, having the T-spin set up there, but having to bail on it, you can still T-spin in this game, they just don't give points.
Yeah, that is the thing about NES Tetris. You're not going to get anything extra for your perfect clears, your T-spin doubles. T-spin triples don't exist, which is how things should be. I'm not biased. Shut up.
Yeah, the rotation system's even a bit different, and, you know, something that probably any modern player has noticed, the RNG is almost completely random.
Almost.
Almost. It is not a 7 bag. That is why long bar droughts exist, because the long bar can just not show up for an extended period of time.
It can take as long as it wants to. In modern Tetris games, it takes... the way the RNG works is... It basically puts all 7 piece types in a bag and pulls one. And it keeps pulling until it runs out of pieces in the bag, and it, you know, resets the bag. In NES Tetris, what it does is goes...
Oh, AV.
Oh, hold on. Yep, AV needs a bar for that left.
Speaking of droughts,
Oh,
the bar
that's gonna be it. She's
doesn't show up.
357. Dan in a chase down. Dan, you will need 358. 358 is what we're looking for. And we are in a bit of a drought here. There's a bar for a score, 329. Needs a Tetris and some change.
we manifested the drought.
Trying to talk about the way the RNG works in this game, and well, that'll teach us. Good double on the left-hand side to open things up. We've got the change out of the way. And just a Tetris will be enough. There's the bar, there's the score. 358 is enough to level this set off 1-1. GG.
Yeah, we tie things up now. Some people would say a best of 5 is now a best of 5 that is 1-1.
That sounds accurate to me. How many years, Dan? Maybe claiming you can still get a T-spin triple. Oh, is that with the row 20 glitch? Yeah, top row glitch. Yep. Alright, both our players are ready. We're all knotted up at 1. Who's gonna break free, take advantage, and get on match point? One way to find out in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Dan claiming at least 2 years. Oh yeah, it's been at least 2 years for me too, so there.
You started at the same time. Surely.
Surely. Alright.
Oh, double pushdown!
Yes, double 11s! I am happy. I am sated. It's been a long-running joke on any match that I'm hosting that pushdown points are the only thing that matters. And both our players got exactly 11. It is dead even tied. That's what I love to see. Oh, Dan has taken the lead.
By
He pushed
12
another
points.
piece down.
Another piece has been pushed down.
Dan and I played a match not too long ago where the two of us just started smashing down on so many pieces, and it was literally just a 10 to 20 point lead for either one of us for about 50 lines. It just stayed.
That was that must have been great.
It was hilarious. I promptly early topped and ruined it, but until then, it was extremely funny.
Yeah, you know, another thing that's very different from modern and NES Tetris is the pieces lock in the second they touch the ground. There is no sliding around.
I believe you get the number of frames that it takes the piece to move down a cell. So right now, 3.
Yeah.
Which, yes, this game runs at 60 frames a second. Yes, that is 1/20th of a second.
So on lower levels, you can still slide the pieces around, but on the higher speeds, you cannot react in time.
Exactly.
But
So
there is still
you've
enough
gotta be...
time for maneuvers called tucks, where you slide the piece into a gap. There is still time for that.
Plenty of time, and some players will make extensive use of them. 40-odd lines in through game number 3 here. Dan's at 157, AV's at 173, less than a Tetris separating the two, especially considering that slight line difference. So you're going to see that that lead meter on the bottom is probably just going to bounce back and forth for a little while here. And yeah, a little more explanation on the way the RNG works is that instead of having a bag of a certain number of pieces, like in more modern Tetris games, NES Tetris just goes, alright, what was the last piece? Did I just roll that one again? No? Then send it, doesn't matter what it is. Yes? Maybe I'll try once to send something different. Oh, never mind, I'll just send the same one again. And again, and again, and again, and again. And it doesn't care.
Yeah, there is a tiny bit of bias to try and not send the same piece again, but maybe we'll see it in this top 4 matchup. But right there, 3 T pieces in a row.
Yeah, it'll just do that. Blaze asking, yeah, an important question. If neither player tops out, when does each round end? Yeah, somebody will top out.
Somebody will top out.
Especially since between Tapper and Adasser, there's not a lot of extended play available on 29. So at some point, the game will end.
Yeah, and for our player, I think we only have one player who is a roller, which we'll talk about more when they appear. They have a level 39 double kill screen, where, you know the kill screen speed where it drops 1 frame, or 1 row every frame? Why don't we double that? 2 rows every frame. Or something like that. I don't remember what it's, I think it's 2 rows every frame.
Yeah, it'd be 2 rows every frame. I know we turned that on for quals, right?
Yes.
See, I never have to worry about it, so...
Because some players are good enough to theoretically play indefinitely.
Yeah, I'm sure a number of you heard about the news. Let's give a quick score update here, as AB has managed to open up a pretty significant lead, but is 10 lines ahead. I think she's been pushing down a lot of pieces here. Dan's going to get a couple Tetris. He's up to 364. AV's on 418 with a 3-line difference. So got about a 2 Tetris difference. AV with a little bit of traffic on the board, but finding some creative burns here to open things back up. And we are approaching transition once again. AV with another score to 467. Dan is on 367, but he's behind by 10 to 11 lines, so he's got room to make up some of that score. Tetris there, you see, gets up to 391. And another one, and another one. 414 to 513, again with a 9-line difference. One interesting thing that does is it kind of gives Dan a little bit more information as things goes on about, you know, what he might need to do or might need to watch out for. If AV gets caught in a drought, he might know, okay, well, I know there is a drought coming, might start building safer. Or if AV, you know, is playing super efficiently, he'll go, all right, well, now I know I gotta, you know, rip the brakes off this thing and go all out.
Yeah.
AV's gonna transition at 562, a very strong score. Oh, bless you.
Don't worry, stream can hear it.
Oh, that is fair.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Just the score bugging out for a moment. That'll happen.
I alt-tabbed.
Whoops. 492 for Dan, 613 for AV. Dan's gonna knock down a Tetris up to 517. He is back by a handful of lines at any given point here, so he's got a little bit of extra runway, but AV definitely with a pace lead as we get going on these increased speeds. Oh, and Dan with a hang of a bar on the left. He definitely has the speed to get another one over, and will.
A bit of an over-tap, I believe, on that L.
He's gonna start bringing it down, though. Still got plenty of speed and plenty of room to be able to dig away at this, but this is allowing AV to really build up this advantage now. We're looking at a 150,000 point difference. Yes, there's also a 6-line difference, but AV with a clear advantage as we advance through post here. We have folks in the chat calling for double maxes. I would love to see that.
We are... That is possible.
That's very possible.
As AV having to do a bit of digging herself. And getting right out of it. Just beautiful places. But that square for Dan!
Oh, Dan, he's gonna need a bar. Gets a bar, gets it over. Dig City for sure now. He's at 645. Oh. No, a couple hangs on the right, and Dan is done at 645. AV at 805 and 24. Absolutely cruising, and now has the 2-1 lead.
The pivotal game 3 will go in favor of AV Geek and put her on match point. As I think AV will be mullining this out.
Mullining, a term in the NES Tetris community named after Ben Mullen, who is a fine fellow, but with the chance for the first ever max out on screen in CTWC history, he, after his opponent had already topped out, he went, I'm playing for it anyways, I don't care, and entered history in a new way. AV, jeez. Cooking right now, 941 and 26.
Wants to show these players a max out. These viewers, rather. There it is.
The max out. A08. You'll notice the score in hexadecimal now because NES Tetris normally only goes to all nines, but nah, screw that. We got better.
Nice burn.
The applause from Dan.
Setting up.
There's one. We got room for another. How about a 1.1 million?
It can't get the bar over, but a 1.1.
I like how it almost looks like AB didn't beat her top score because the 8 and the B are very similar.
Yeah.
But that is just monstrous.
And that'll put AV securely up 2-1.
Massive 1 million point lead.
Yeah, the score calc doesn't like the lack of the level select screen.
Are both players using the CRT to play this? I believe so.
Yes. So AV Grand Finals, right? I am not. Okay, Dan is not. Old LCD.
Oh no, LCD. Input display lag.
Okay, Hazel.
Thank you, Hazel. Thank you, Hazel. Alright, we got it ready from Dan. I think AB might be putting Dan's name on the scoreboard. Just saying.
Yes, absolutely. That is exactly what happened. I can do a bit of real-time editing to show you. Whoa, there it is.
Whoa, there it is.
As we have 2 readies, we have same seats confirmed. So let's count them down for game number 4 in 3.
Classic Tetris bot.
Thanks.
Trolling.
Let's try that again. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Yeah, telling me that I used the command wrong when I
That's
definitely didn't.
Weird bugs that this bot has. Everybody say hello to Classic Tetris bot as well. It helps facilitate a lot of things that we in the community use. Not only counting down for matches, but it can also form queues for matches, which is something I should have done today and completely forgot to do, because I have been all over the place already this morning. It also can store players' profiles, personal bests, and stuff like that. Like, check this out. You can do that with basically any Tetris player that's put their stuff in the bot and learn about how they play. Here is saying hello. But right now, it's about these two players on screen. Can Dan break the 3-1 curse. Every single match he's played in this tournament has been 3-1.
Oh, these pieces for Dan. Things are not looking good. Needs something to the left-hand side, and bars is not what he needs. Bar will do, though.
That one will. Come on.
Set up for a dirty Tetris. Has to cover the wall.
Would have only been a triple, but it would have been relief, and that's what's more important. He's gonna whittle this down farther.
Perfect J. Bar will do. Now just needs another J or a bar.
Spot a bother as well. She's gonna get the well reopened. Dan's gonna get the well reopened. Excellent survival on both sides. But AV's left side a little
gets
spicy.
The bar. The bar comes for the Tetris.
The thumbs up from AV. Both players surviving some absolutely harrowing early digs.
And AV going about half a Tetris in the lead. Now a full Tetris.
I think at this point, both our players are just like, oh, okay, good, I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Yikes. That was a very scary opener.
Oh, these pieces for AV.
AV's board climbing a little bit here. Finding some good burns, but still struggling to get this hole open.
Nice adjustment, but now just needs a bar. Where's the bar? It's too late.
Way too late.
Now needs something over to the left-hand side.
That quick tap. But will it get there? It won't. She's done at 182. AV is topped out at 182, and Dan has broken the 3-1 curse. 231. Let's see ourselves a first decider of the afternoon. GG.
The 3-1 curse broken. And we go to a Game 5 decider.
The context of the 3-1 curse, it's not even a curse just so much as a tradition. Every single match Dan played in this tournament has, before this one, finished with a 3-1 result. Dan beat Xylos 3-1, then beat DocPie 3-1, then lost to Jounce 3-1, then beat me 3-1. So this is the first match Dan has played not ending in a line of 3-1. We got readies on both sides, though. We got a Game 5 on our hands. Why don't we not count this one down from 3? Why don't we count it down from 5? What do you say?
I like that idea.
Then let's see this delicious decider in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
There we go. Both our players are off. This game is also very important as this decides who gets third place. Minimum.
Dan with that insurmountable 12-point lead.
Yep. Everyone knows push down point lead insurmountable.
Welcome on in, Oasis. With the 50-month sub. We had a lot of resubs here. I gotta figure out how I can pull all of those back up. And thank everybody who has resubbed over the course of this stream. As we've had quite a few in the meantime. I can't even scroll back far enough. No!
Too many wonderful people resubscribing.
More Tetris than you can handle, indeed. But it's about how our players handle it. Dan at 98, AV at 82, approaching the 30 line mark of game number 5. Who will survive?
Oh!
Oh, AV!
Oh, AV!
Oh, she's done at 83,000! And Dan at 124 with a dagger of a Tetris at the end will move on. And I believe what we are staring at next might be a rematch.
It is a rematch. Dan has heard the news. There it is. That's blue. Who told you to be blue? Hold on.
Dabba-dee.
There we go.
Who told you to be blue?
There it is.
I have clicked the wrong thing. There we go.
Yeah, just a misflip from AV.
Not the way you want to see it finish. But in a decider like that, I mean, all sorts of things can happen, and
What? That's not what I wanted. There we go. As we now move on. Dan vs. Jones. In 20 minutes, because I don't think Jones is actually home yet.
it's all right. So we'll have a little time to, you know, talk about what we're seeing.
Yeah.
And also handle some background stuff. Or try to handle some background stuff. Shoutouts to
The people in the background.
yes. I've gotten a lot of help in making this run, and it has been... Oh, it's been quite an adventure. Oh, now we lost the upcoming match.
Yeah, it...
Yeah, the software has been a little fussy today.
Hold on. See if it'll like me now. There, it's back.
Say please. Please, may we have upcoming matches?
And it worked, it's back.
That's all it takes. Sometimes you just gotta be nice to your software.
Yeah.
Well, hi AX7R. Welcome. So yeah, our first match in the books, getting to go all the way to a decider, and we will now see Dan go for his revenge up against Jounce. Jounce, a storied player in the community, many stories in fact. Also, that awesome logo in the upper right corner, that's Jounce's work.
Indeed.
Jounce has helped create a lot of our art assets, and has also drawn a lot of art for folks in the furry Tetris server that we have been gradually cultivating and growing to have. You know, we accept folks of all kinds of Tetris, all kinds of skill levels. We're just here to have fun and, you know, be a bunch of goofball furries. That's what we do. If you want to check out the furry Tetris server, Exclamation mark furry Tetris. You see it in the stream title. And you can come join us, Stackfox. Whether you are new or you've been playing this game for, like me, way too long. Jounce did used to have scoreboard record. That is true. I want to say, is that the first ever rollover?
Yes. Jounce was the first ever rollover. First 1.6 million score where the hexadecimal in the top left rolled over from F to 0.
Which is highly entertaining because at that point, nobody had even gotten 1.5 million, and Jounce just goes, yeah, that's nice.
1.5 million? What's that?
So we still didn't have a 1.5, but we had 1.6, and we got that going for us, which is nice.
Yeah.
Another shout out while we have a little bit of time. Jounce getting ready, I believe. And another shout out in the meantime. The music that you're hearing in the background. Some awesome chiptune-y stuff made by a good friend of mine, Kid Internet. Hold on a second. I'm scrolling through to look for the links because they are on Spotify. And Bandcamp. Go ahead and check out Kid Internet if you want to hear these awesome backing tracks that we've got.
Yeah, and a huge shout out to making this entire scene possible to Error 400 for making from the ground up the score capture method. You know that score at the bottom that was increasing and decreasing, all that jazz, made specifically for this. Huge shout out. And another quick shout out to Mari for making the video that we showcased at the very beginning. Wonderful work there. So we get this next match set up. Might be able to start even just a tiny bit early, which would be cool. So we do have our players live. That B doesn't beat my tap max, so not the highest score this month. That's crazy. Yeah, AV Geek does dabble in not just only DAS, but also tap and a bit of rolling. As you know, we do have the one roller in the tournament, Jounce, coming up next. So why don't we give the viewers a bit of an explanation on what rolling exactly is?
That sounds pretty reasonable. Rolling is a third way to control this very silly Tetris game from 1989 because, you know, it's all of a sudden fast forward to 2021 and we're like, what if we could move the pieces even faster? You've got DAS where you hold the button down and after a short delay, it'll move the pieces 10 times per second, 10 hertz, you might say. Then you have hyper tappers who can vibrate their hand in such a way, tap the button really fast. Some can do it 15 times a second. But those buttons are really small. And a player by the name of Cheesefish, a few years back, was looking at the controller. I was also seeing some videos from a renowned arcade game player, Flyheck, Hector Rodriguez, who would play games like Track and Field by dragging his fingers across the buttons on an arcade cabinet. That is a lot of inputs very quickly. The thing is, arcade cabinet buttons are what you might call big. The D-pad on an NES controller is what you might call not big. But you know what is a big flat surface on a Nintendo controller? The back. Cheese found a comically convoluted way to prop the controller up, put his thumb on the D-pad, and drum his fingers on the back of the controller, pushing it into his thumb repeatedly, allowing for movements of 20 plus hertz. Which is, really, 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 really fast. And over the next few years, we've seen players take this control style and just run with it. Some of you may have seen the news stories earlier this year about a kid, quote-unquote, beating Tetris, when Blue Scooty was the first person to manage to crash the game. Just completely crash the game. Because after a while, NES Tetris, it's not coded well in the long run. Like, they weren't expecting people to go to level 29, so, round about level 30, things start to break, and then round about level 138, they start to break more, and by the time you get to 157, it really goes downhill. We won't run into any of that today. We do have a 39 double kill screen where the game goes even faster, so we will not be seeing colors and crashes today, but it's something that people can do now that rolling has really entered the mainstream over the last couple of years.
Because we should have
No, that's the wrong
everyone
thing.
ready.
Hold on a second, let me... Oh, yeah.
So let's go ahead. Get our players. There they are. Dan has returned. And there is the Jounce. Now tiny.
Tiny Jounce! Off to the side. Oh, floating Jounce!
Whoa.
I love their ping tubers so much. They're so expressive, and then sometimes the eyes just go, silly. Technology is, in fact, silly. Would our players enjoy same pieces? Oh, they both just asked.
Yeah, so we'll get them same piece sets.
How about 7597 Foxtrot 3? Because why not have some Foxtrot?
Why not have some foxes in the Stackfox tournament?
Right? There are stacked foxes right up there.
Yeah.
Foxtrot, Best Trot, Truth Oasis, Absolute Truth. Also, the Sleepy Eevee on
Yes.
Jounce's is back. For the first time I ever saw them streaming and went, this is the cutest stream setup ever. When they first had this setup, their actual gameplay was on that TV you see in the background, so it was really cute. But hey, we've got GLHFs in chat. We got Readies on screen. shall we?
We shall.
Very well, no reason to delay. It's time to play game number 1 of Losers Grand Finals in 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
Yeah, and just to remind everyone, this match is, in fact, the Losers Grand Finals, which means that Dan, Jounce, and T-Storm are your top 3 for the Stackfox 2024 Classic Tetris Tournament. And the winner of this will go on to face T-Storm, who is waiting patiently in the Grand Finals, where it is no longer best of 5, but instead best of 7. And the person who wins this will have to win 2 best of 7s against him.
No pressure.
Nope.
None at all. We are underway in game number 1. Dan on 47, Jounce on 46. Both players have had a little bit of traffic to work through, but nothing too dangerous just yet. Dan kind of shaking the head there. Beat over the head with squares that he really didn't need, but handling it well.
Handling the pieces that do come, but now is when the trouble arises.
Ooh, that left side already getting very dangerous. This is a terrible sequence. It's gonna get that bar over, but needs... That L is perfect.
Is burning this down, but needs some more helpful pieces.
Ooh.
Didn't want to risk hanging the L. Can't get anything over to the right, and an early top out for Dan.
Oof. Brutal way for it to start. Jounce on 127 is good for game number 1. Just ran into a lengthy dig that would never end, and really no helpful pieces for the way that stack was shaped either.
It's okay, this is just the 1 in the 3-1. Dan will take the next 3. Yep. As we have 2 readies. John, can you turn on double kill screen just in case? I just noticed. Just in case.
Welcome to NES Tetris, folks. Don't try it. Oh, or do try it if you want to.
Yeah.
We are always happy to help teach folks the ropes. We had folks in the Stackfox tournament playing their first ever comp matches. First ever quals and first ever comp.
Yeah. Alright, there we go. Thank you, Jones. So we have 2 readies. We have same piece sets. So let's count game number 2 down in 3, 2. I did. 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
I can't believe it's only giving that to you.
What is happening?
The only commands I've seen I've seen the bot do that on have been 3 and Q to check the match queue.
Yeah.
And it's the funniest thing because every single time somebody will try to use one of those very basic commands and the bot will go, how to use it, what you just did. And then somebody else will immediately do the command and it works perfectly fine. And it
Yep.
Even the bot trolls, let alone Tetris. Tetris does enough trolling.
It's not classic Tetris if there's no trolling.
Or technical difficulties. Such
True.
as the bot just doing whatever it wants, and the schedule doing whatever it wants.
Yeah, so both players off to a much better start. And yeah, if you look at Jounce's screen, you can just see the pieces flying to the left and right hand side.
That is that rolling play style. They have a lot of flexibility in where those pieces can go. Whoop.
And we are separated by 11 points. The pushdown points for Dan coming into play.
I'm telling you, pushdown points are where it's at. Ooh, bit of a misflip there on Johnson's side. Nothing too dangerous. That is kind of one of the big hazards of rolling, as many players, especially first trying out the play style, find out. Once they get a hang of controlling the pieces, then they have to get a hang of not doing that. So it is a blessing and a curse at the same time. We've got 210 for Dan on 43 lines, 42 lines for Jounce, 190. So Dan opening up about a 1 Tetris lead here, which is kind of the thing you are hoping for up against the roller, is if you can start building a slow but steady pace lead and force them to try and play aggressive to chase you down. So I'm sure that is basically what Dan's plan has got to be here in this set. Jounce, not to be deterred, continues to cruise along. And again, you're going to see Dan now with about a 2.5 Tetris lead here.
Yeah, Jounce just having a few more long bar dependencies than Dan, and having to, use that long bar that Dan's using to score to fill in that dependency.
Because it's fastest first, 269 for Jounce. Nice. Before the Tetris to go to 291.
Yep.
Had to get in at least one nice. We will probably see more. We often, in the Tetris community, after one of our most well-known commentators, Kingsman, we will just go, hey now. But nices are also always valid.
Indeed, as crossing the 70 line mark, 394 for Dan, 360 for Jounce, so still that Tetris lead in favor of Dan. Like I said, that's exactly what you want to see, but yeah, Dan, this board, a little troubling, but getting pieces where they need to go, opens up the right-hand side and scores the Tetris.
Gonna keep things safe because number one, as I always say, don't top out, because if you don't top out, you can keep scoring points, but if you top out, you can't score any more points because your game is over. So you want to not top out, and Dan executing that plan to perfection. He's on 448 with that Tetris, 432 for Jounce, who has bit into this lead quite a bit. It's now down to about a half Tetris difference as we approach the 100 line mark of game number 2.
What a last-second adjustment from Jounce to not block the well there. Just at the last possible second, pressing the rotate button to not block the well. But Dan, now in a bit of trouble. Bar comes! Opens up the right-hand side.
Not even going to bother with it, just plug it up. He's just going to try and dig this out as much as possible.
Sets up the T-spin. Obviously not going to hold out for it, because that would be detrimental.
Jounce's stack not exactly in the greatest condition either, and those S pieces were absolutely horrible. Doesn't get the T-spin, and Jounce in a dig as well. Dan's just about got this clean, but pieces just not quite coming in the right order.
Oh, Jounce.
That rolling gonna have to be on full display now. This stack climbing in the wrong direction.
And we are closing in on transition, 10 lines away.
Dan's going to get things cleaned up. He's on 498 at a Tetris. He's going to go to 521. Ahead by 5K. Both players.
Jounce had to cover the well.
Transition.
2 more lines and Jounce will transition. And this is dangerous. There's the double. Opens up the middle. Needs a bar.
In a hurry. That left side is completely useless. Dirty Tetris for Jounce.
And another bar!
Stack down. That is the power of rolling, but now still work to do. Dan is cleaned up and is starting to open a lead. 595 to 554 here. About a Tetris and a half lead still.
And Jounce surviving that. Just absolute survival. At the top of the board right as transition happens. And 2 bars to save.
Get very scary. 609 for Dan, 592 for Jounce. We are right back to neck and neck. Oh, Dan with a hang of an S, hang of a bar, head in the hands. He's done it, 610, a valiant dig through 18, but topping out in the 19 speeds. Jounce at 622, fought their way back, and now on a 2-0 lead, eager for another rematch. Also, earlier in the chat, AV saying the truest thing ever, flying is fancy falling. I should know. But we have readies on both sides. Jounce 1 win away from a return to the grand finals. Dan back against the wall, but looking to fight back. Who will take advantage in 3, 2, 1... Tetris. Streams like this are make me very glad that I have a lot. Oh wow, doesn't sound like it, but I have a lot of hydration ready. Oasis pointing out early on here, already a bit of divergence in strategy, and that's always something really interesting to see with the same piece sets, is how two different players will attack the same exact sequence. There's a lot of different ways you can go about it here. You see Dan keeping that double well, and a lot of early safe skims, trying to keep the stack at a good height. Jounce with the rolling is able to just sling pieces around when they want to, but also finding some good survival. That series was not very helpful for their stack though. But
Bar will come, so John's gonna be able to get this down.
now with that hole down in row 1, next bar is only good for a triple. Jounce is looking to just burn a bunch of this away, try and get down there.
And setting up Tux just to not put as much weight as possible over there, but going to have to.
Ooh. Was looking to get set up row 2, but a slight misdrop there, and Jounce just a little bit of traffic on the board. Now set up on row 3 instead. Sure, why not? Dirty Tetris. Clean one for Dan, 147, 126, a 21k difference. Approaching the 40 line mark of game number 3.
Oh my god.
Yeah, watching a good roller do stuff like that is just, it's kind of ridiculous. But, oh, Jounce is going to need all this rolling.
With Love and Al.
Finally it arrives. You can even the VTuber is just concentrating as fully as possible. Will finally knock down that Tetris. Dan at 197, 162 for Jounce. Tetris and a half difference over the 50 line mark in game number 3. Dan's got his back against the wall, but is playing really solidly here. Just playing a smart, safe, consistent strategy.
Yeah,
Not
and it's
making any
been
real
working.
dependencies.
Till
Yeah.
that transition. Everything just fell apart, but looking to do it better this game. Having that
Yeah, you
2
gotta
Tetris lead.
And you gotta wonder if Dan's strategy going into the 19 speeds will change any here. He might try and play it safer, or he might just completely burn things out going into it, or, you know, might just say the heck with it all and go all out. Who knows?
Who knows
now,
indeed, but what we do know is that
we had the same idea.
we had the same idea. And that idea is to give a score update. 317,000 at 77 lines for Dan. 283 make that 306 at 86, 10 lines ahead almost for Jounce.
Yeah, a lot of that digging, especially high up for Jounce, has kind of created a discrepancy in the line. So now we're on a very same line count, very similar. I know the English language, and Dan still holding on to a lead here. Players just about matching each other in efficiency here as we approach 100 lines now. 410, 358. Dan out in front. Jounce has got things under control here. Knocks down the Tetris to 382. Dan waiting for the same bar. Likely behind a little bit in the P sequence, so now he finds the bar. Are we going to do for Persona showcases at some point? I mean, more of them would be awesome. We did have a little bit during the intro video, including just an entire cat.
Yep. Dan did not have one prepared yet. It is in the works still, so we placeholdered it.
We placeholdered and cat.
We asked Dan if he were to make a persona, what would it be based off of? And that was his response. So we put it that.
Yep. Oh, Dan getting a little high up here. Players getting droughted going into the transition. Jounce is there at 509. Dan with a Tetris at 558. He's got room for one more. He could go in with almost a 3 Tetris lead here. Knocks it down. 582 into transition for Dan. And now off we run in the 19 speeds.
Yeah, this is exactly where Dan wants to be, ahead of Jounce. Missed the S-spin, though. Gonna force a bit of burning, which is going to let Jounce take the lead, actually, by 68 points.
But Jounce is ahead by 8 lines as well, so Dan still has that in his pocket. He can still try and reopen a bit of a lead. Thing is, if we do make it all the way to 29, Jounce absolutely has the ability to play for a long time. Ooh, bit of a misdrop on the right-hand side for Dan. Gotta find a way to dig this out.
Beautiful from Dan. Now just open up the right-hand side. Where's the bar? There it is!
There's the score. 646 for Dan, 652 for Jounce.
This bar dependency is really dangerous, though. Dirty Tetris!
Dirty Tetris!
And we'll open up the right-hand side. Look at that!
704 to 679. Dan out in front. Jounce ahead by a handful of lines. Both players knocking down Tetrises. 733, 710. We're separated by less than a score.
And as players trade the Tetris, the score lead's just going to flicker back and forth. But it is in favor of Dan in the moment because of pace.
Gonna have Dan having to take the triple there, but that is the smart decision at this point. You also need survival. Jounce at 800, Dan at 773, back by 6 lines. Take that Tetris, go to 803, ahead by 2K.
Oh, and Jounce set up. Dirty Tetris for Jounce.
Absolutely no fear in our players. This is what you love to see. This tournament is coming down to it. 810 for Dan, 870 for Jounce, but Jounce is ahead by 6 lines still, so Dan with that Tetris back in the lead at 874. Jounce covers well right as the bar comes. Gets it reopened, but that left side starting to look kind of spicy. We'll get a Tetris. Next bar is only good for a triple, but he's still going to take it. 875 for Dan, now 877 after a double. 914 for Jounce. Both players, a little bit of digging, but that's a left well Tetris for Jounce. Trying to put the pressure on Dan here. 948 for Jounce. Dan at 915, behind by 5 lines. So pace-wise, we are at an absolute deadlock.
Jounce Tetris into level 28. One more for the max out. Has it ready. Where's the bar? Tetris for Dan. Tetris for Jounce. Max out on the screen. Dan also one away. Needs a few Tetris pieces to set up.
Ooh, that got spicy for a moment, but he's able to adjust.
Has to cover the well. Takes the
Jounce
double.
with a dirty Tetris in at 29 at A59. Dan is at 990. Oh, but is he going to be able to get this well open in time?
Tetris on the kill screen for Jounce. Dan left side open, doesn't get the Tetris over.
Misses the 7 high right tap at 998 and Jounce at B39 is going to take game 3 and move to grand finals. I mean, if you're Dan, you cannot be upset with that performance. You pushed one of the best rollers out there.
Oh my.
Forced him to play kill screen against you.
Jounce almost had that Tetris set up on level 31. But that will be the sweep for Jounce, as this is going to be a bit scuffed. So give me a second. You know,
the winner is a Sleepy Eevee.
there is the Jounce.
And also Jounce.
The winner, Jounce's ears.
Yes, Jounce's ears win.
Yes.
They are huge.
As that will be... I gotta fix it. Where is he? T-Storm and Jounce in the grand finals. Now do keep in mind that Jounce does have to win 2 best of 7s against T-Storm.
I see what you did there, Oasis. And I agree.
Yes. Which, let me see.
In the meantime, while we are getting our next match set up, reaching out to folks and all that jazz, if you want to hang out with us in the Furry Tetris Discord, !Furry Tetris. And for those of you that aren't yet in the Fastest Furs Discord, where you can find out about streams like this and more, including the 2 charity marathons that we do a year, !Discord. So if y'all aren't in the Fastest Furs Discord, they're an absolutely wonderful group of folks. And we in the Tetris Furries Discord are also trying to be a wonderful group of folks. We have groups talking about all different styles of Tetris, whether it's classic, it's modern, it's Tetris a Grandmaster. We have people playing Tetrio in there. We have the former 40-line sprint world record holder in that Discord somehow. How did we get that? But yeah, folks of all walks of Tetris. Bunch of goofball furries, and we are looking at holding more tournaments in the Stackfox name. So the more the merrier. Come on down.
Yeah, we are thinking that the next one might be Tetris the Grandmaster, so any TGM players out there, calling out to you.
Get called out.
Yep. As I don't think T-Storm is ready yet, so...
T-Storm was in the chat.
T-Storm was in the chat, yes.
TGM is hard. TGM is hard.
TGM is very hard.
That's kind of the fun of it. It's one of the games ever. It is absolutely one of the games. 10-ish minutes? That is fair. We'll be counting. If it's not exactly 10 minutes, we will frown at you aggressively.
Also, just in
Ooh.
case, let me do a bit of live editing and
Ooh.
that was there the entire time, by the way.
It just reminds me of the games that'll hide like a room way off the distance out of bounds, and that's where things happen. So people will inevitably find their way in there, especially speedrunners, because we know to do things like that. We know to go, what's this tiny bit on the map?
Yep.
I go there. Walls are a suggestion.
Indeed. Yeah, I put that there at the beginning of the tournament because of double elimination.
Speaking of double elim, this morning I was watching yet another Tetris tournament because the Classic Tetris World Championships of DAS are going on over in Europe, and we got to see a double decider full bracket reset there. I want to see that happen just for the drama here.
The full bracket reset?
Yeah, it went down to the grand finals as the winner out of the bottom bracket came up. Won in a decider, which forced the bracket reset, and the bracket reset went to a decider.
That'd be a lot of Tetris.
Yeah, they played a lot of games against each other in that tournament.
Which, you know, if we take a look at the bracket, this isn't the first time T-Storm and Jounce have faced. They actually faced right here.
Yeah, just slightly off to the left.
In the winners finals. And you'll notice that it was a T-Storm sweep, so be interested to see what happens in the grand finals over here. And of course, again, taking a look at the whole bracket. Look how many wonderful people we had in here. All the way from the first round of 16 down to our top 4. Shout out to Jounce almost losing round 1. Yes, that did happen. Seed 1 versus Seed 16 went to a decider. That did in fact happen.
Which is definitely fun to see. We had a little bit of fun setting this tournament up in that the early rounds of the tournament, we allowed more than just level 18 starts. We allowed level 12 and 15 starts. And for players who only ever play on 18 and sometimes 19, all of a sudden going down to the speeds of level 12 where it feels like you have about 3 days to move a piece can actually be a little bit jarring. I played against AV in round 1 of the bracket, and we basically only picked level 12 because it made us both laugh.
It put
I think
one of our
level
other
50.
players, Alice, to sleep.
Yes, we did put Alice to sleep multiple times by picking the slowest available level.
Yes, you picked level 15 on the first, third, and fifth game. Or first, fourth, and fifth game. One of the few matches to have all level 12 was Anna vs Enskelite and Jounce vs Wilbert, which went to that Game 5 decider.
So while we continue to wait for T-Storm, I'm going to offer a suggestion to folks, as I often do on my own streams. If you need to stretch your legs, grab yourself a drink or a snack, whatever you need to do. Don't forget to do. Just don't touch that dial.
I'm surprised how many of those we're saying right now.
That's the third I've seen. I got one on my alternate account that nobody goes to except for whoever is showing my match. Like, there was not even anyone in chat and it showed up, and I was just like, oh wait, no, I wasn't even live.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't even live and it popped in. I laughed so hard and then immediately banned it. Yeah, I'm gonna go refresh my water, and if y'all don't have water or something nice to drink by you, you should.
Indeed, you should.
So perfect in every way. So many things that I could do, try to say. I met you years ago. So tell me please, are you thinking? Will you say no? We are so close yet so far away now. Will we make it work? I wonder when or why or how. We are so close yet so far away now. So tell me please, are you coming over now? Our interests both the same. Writing these lyrics, it feels lonely. Remember we made each other blush. Am I moving too fast? Don't want to rush. We are so close yet so far away now. Will we make it work? I wonder when or why or how. We are so close yet so far away now. So tell me please, are you coming over now? We are so close yet so far away now. Will we make it work? I wonder when or why or how. We are so close yet so far away now. So tell me please, are you coming over now? Time and time again. Why don't we just stay friends? I want to know, is it me or is it you? Come on again, my heart is torn in two. We are so close yet so far away now. Will we make it work? I wonder when or why or how. We are so close yet so far away now. So tell me please, are you coming over now? We are so close yet so far away now. Will we make it work? I wonder when or why or how. We are so close yet so far away now. So tell me please, are you coming over now? We are so close yet so far away now. Will we make it work? I wonder when or why or how. We are so close yet so far away now. So tell me please, are you coming
Fun.
Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, we are back. And are you ready for the grand finals?
I sure am.
Oh, good morning, AV. Glad to see you.
Yeah, good morning.
T-Storm immediately going, I'm not hitting taps. Uh-oh.
Huh?
Oh, well. I'm sure you'll be fine. I've seen the way you tap. It is bonkers.
Yeah.
But we've got ourselves 2 players. We've got ourselves 1 or possibly 2 best of 7 matches. Players just, well, T-Storm just getting some warm-ups in. I surmise Jounce, doing whatever it is Jounce does. Having big ears, being kind of adorable.
Something along those lines.
Average Jounce things.
Yeah, and you know what? As a little reminder, why don't we play the video that we have again, just before grand finals?
Seems like a fitting time to do it, just in case anyone didn't get to see it the first time around. A reminder of how we got here.
There we go. That is how we got here.
W promo indeed. Again, thanks to Mari for the promo. Thank you to Error for the awesome stream layout and setup. Thank you to Kid Internet for the music. Thank you to Fastest Furs for letting us be here in the first place.
Yeah, huge shout out to Fastest First for letting us host the top 4 stream of Stackfox here. As you know what we do, you have our players.
Ooh, we have players.
Indeed, let's go ahead and take a look at them. There they are.
Oh, hey, it's players.
T-Storm's still doing a bit of warm-up. And
And
Jounce
Jounce.
just sitting on the level 31.
Bing chillin'. Chilling out, maxing, perhaps even relaxing all cool. I don't think they're shooting any b-ball outside of the school, though.
Probably
That was
not.
That was Quaid that one year at CTWC when we found a very deflated basketball outside the after party. There was, at Classic Tetris World Championships in 2022, we had an after party at this very interesting little venue, and there was a basketball hoop outside a nearby door, and we just went hunting for a basketball. Somebody found a really flat one, and then one of the players, Quaid, who is absolutely a very goofy personality, was just draining threes like it was his job. It was very, very funny, just out of nowhere. He was just calling shots.
It must have been hilarious. Best of 7.
It is best of 7 for these grand finals.
And if Jones wants to take it, Jones has to win 2 in a row.
Oh, come on, that's only 8 wins.
Huh? Oh.
Well, math. I see the brains are already releasing the magic smoke. Oh no.
Yeah.
And hey, we've only been live for about 2 hours.
Can't imagine. Please, for the love of God, don't make me play 14 games.
Well, T-Storm, if you win the first set, then you don't have to play 14 games.
Yeah, just win.
It's that easy. You did it once. Okay, we'll play 15. Also true.
If only. Best of 7, 15 start.
Jones just says, sorry. Oh,
Tetris.
Valid.
The modern Tetris. Which, you know, we'll get around to hosting a tournament on Tetrio eventually.
I definitely think there's a few ways we can do that. I've had a couple of basic ideas milling around in my head for that one, and various other tournament ideas too. But we have an offer for same piece sets. Oh, the way the ping tuber is reacting. Oh, Jones fell asleep.
Yep.
A seed is in chat. Bravo 5. And a very happy face, 8 Delta, and then 6 Foxtrot, because we gotta have Foxtrot.
Yep.
Bravo 5, 8 Delta, 6 Foxtrot. I just noticed T-Storms just says transgender instead of Tetris Gym at the top.
Yeah, that's how you know it's the trans
Is that
ROM.
the V6 ROM?
I think so.
That makes sense. All right, we got readies on both sides.
We do.
We have readies in the chat. Are y'all ready to see some grand finals action? Because we're getting game 1 of this best of 7 counted down. Oh, it is V5. Duly noted. We are getting game 1 counted down in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. You know what? While I'm here, I can do this. I wonder if I'll get yelled at for doing this.
That's never a good sign.
I'll find out from Blaze later. You can mix and match the header. Tetris Gym, transgender, trans gym, Tetris gender. All very amusing. I put a prediction up.
Oh.
So if you want to predict who's going to win this match as we get things underway, I'm sure I'll hear about it later. But that's a future me problem.
As Jones's board a bit troublesome, but opens up the right-hand side and squares a Tetris. Now just gonna have to do a bit of digging.
Not a whole lot here, it is going to allow T-Storm, provided these pieces cooperate, to try and create an early lead here. T-Storm also a hyper tapper, but moves pieces at a speed that you might call really fast. Like, some of the maneuvers T-Storm makes can look like a roller is doing them. Plus, he's got some just absurdly good stacking knowledge. Ooh, that was only a single for Jounce. We have a very spicy early going here. Still just flicking pieces to the sides, but this is already a bit problematic. Just trying to avoid covering up that center well, but now finally going to bring it down. Jounce at 123, T-Storm at 172, off to an early lead in game number 1 of Grand Finals.
Yeah, this is exactly where T-Storm would love to be. Ahead in the lead, and ahead in pace.
And behind in lines.
It's the Vits from Jounce.
Gotta throw in a Vits. At this point, it might just be tradition.
And the dirty Tetris setup for T-Storm gets it.
A little bit of a simul Tetris, and T-Storm might... No, it looked like he was thinking about getting set up for another one, but just gonna pass on it. Keep it safe. He's got the lead, 246 to 197, and behind in line, so 269. Hey now. As Jounce takes Tetris up to 220. About a 3 Tetris pace lead, if my math is right here.
Yeah.
T-Storm is capable of playing a good bit of 39 as well. Or 29, rather, not
39.
39. Not too many players are capable of playing on 39 when you turn on double kill screen.
Unless your name is Alex T.
Yeah. If you are Alex, I can score 16 million points in this stupid video game T. Then you could probably play some 39. The rest of us are what you might call mortal.
Yep.
312 for Jounce. Tetris for T-Storm to 383. Still holding on to that 71,000 point advantage. That is a good 3 Tetrises clear, although this board, could use a little bit of TLC. Just a big spire in the center. I'd have what you might call a very exaggerated double well on the right, which is great for safety as it offers you a lot of different options to take single and double lines to bring the stack down if the bar's not coming. But when it gets too tall, it can kind of just create a chasm. Ooh, speaking of very tall, the center of T-Storm stack getting there. He's on 432 right now, 405 for Jounce.
And we're crossing that 109 mark, and the lead has slightly dwindled. Now only about 2 Tetrises.
But again, that line difference, about a 4-line difference at the moment. Both players having to take some skims. Finally, boom, Tetris for T-Storm up to 481, 452 for Jounce. So we approach the transition here in game number 1 of Grand Finals. Just 2 Tetrises left available before the speeds change for both players. 550 to 498. T-Storm out in front. Jounce, my kingdom for a T-piece, but just going to go in at 545. And start working away at this stack. T-Storm still 2 lines away from transitioning. Waiting patiently for a bar that is taking it's sweet time showing up. Just gonna have to burn into the double at 575 and deal with this stack now. He's got those really fast taps, so able to get pieces where they need to go. Boom, Tetris up to 608 into level 20. Jounce is on 553. Clean stack, but built up pretty high here, so gonna have to take some skims, take some burns, bring it back down. There's a Tetris up to 581. And another one to 607.
T-Storm will answer back, though, go to 641, still on level 21. and has this Tetris to offer. We'll take it. Go to 667 at 153. Well, Jounce set up, ready for Tetris. There it is. Bang, Tetris for Jounce to crawl back. T-Storm will answer it. These players are just trading Tetris, is staying as efficient as possible on level 19.
The way this game is going, post-play is only the beginning. We could be looking at a game decided after level 29. As Jounce is still just poking and prodding at this lead, forcing T-Storm to stay just as efficient, if not even more so. 747 to 781. T-Storm is ahead and still, periodically behind in the line count, but not by very much at this point.
Now, when you see the stack size difference, Jounce playing so aggressive to try and pull back this lead, but T-Storm is saying no.
Oh, and things getting a little bit dicey on Jounce's board. They can absolutely survive it. It is going to eat into that pace a little bit. Thing is, T-Storm is digging as well. Got a bit of an awkward stack here. Ooh, and a couple of misflips for T-Storm. He's got to get out of this quickly. Jounce is hot on his tail. 877 to 882. Jounce into the real-time lead. Is still ahead by a handful of lines. T-Storm is bringing this back down. That might have been an overtap with that bar, but an excellent couple of pieces after it. It's set up in column 8. Tetris for Jounce up to 949. Oh, T-Storm kind of selling out the stack a little bit here. Gets that center ball open. Boom, Tetris to 925, but work to do now. Jounce is clean on 950. This is where you might see T-Storm's creativity.
T-Storm is setting up. Hits the bar soon. Then there it is. Tetris for T-Storm.
Jounce is already on the max out. 824 in level 28. T-Storm is at 969. Nice. Going into 28. But that is only going to be a triple if he gets the bar for that. Another triple there. He's kind of running out of lines here.
And Jounce is in the kill screen. Has the B on the board.
T-Storm gets a Tetris, gets a max out, A18, but a lot of work left to do. Ooh, Jounce's left side a little bit dicey. Is going to get a couple burns. Is up to B17 here. T-Storm. Ooh, this stack not in good condition. Anything? No, nothing's going to get left. He's done at A29. Jounce at B24. Making a game 1 statement.
A29 losing to B24. That is the type of performance you have to put on the grand finals.
Yeah, maxing out in competition, always a good feeling. Maxing out and losing by 100,000 is a little rough, but it is a good sign that you can get it in the first place.
And these speeds are insane. As we have 2 readies. So let's count these players down. I'm preemptively typing it because it's going to give it to me, right? Yep.
Yep. Oh, wow, it did it again.
So let's count both players down in 3, 2, 1. Tetris for game number 2 in the first best of 7 here.
We could see 2 of them. We could see just 1. I kind of low-key love watching the score counter, like, empty and go back down to 0 like that.
Yeah, it's neat.
It's aesthetically pleasing for some reason. It is not particularly aesthetically pleasing is the way that T-Storm's stack has started out, but he got it solved very quickly and gets that Tetris. Early bar dependencies are always really terrifying to me.
Yeah.
Of course, whatever this thing is that Jounce has got set up is also a little weird.
Nice tuck there for T-Storm. To
Jounce
stay ready.
Jounce with a really solid solve of that weird SZ situation in the center of the stack. I'm gonna have to try and learn that one.
As we are basically neck and neck through the first 4 Tetrises. 5 Tetrises. However many. It's an amount of Tetrises.
We love being a little weird here. Very true.
Holy squares for T-Storm. There's
Which
the
means
squares
here
for
they come
Jounce.
1, 2, 3 of them, and then another one for good measure. I'm pretty sure my stream has hosted the longest ever streak of squares in an unmodified game of Tetris. As a few years back in an ELO battle on my channel, Kingsman received 8 consecutive square pieces.
Holy.
So if you ever wonder about the RNG in NES Tetris, probably don't wonder about it because if
Jounce.
Oh, okay, Jounce is gonna get that Tetris, but now we have a little bit of traffic.
Nice. Some form of shadow piece in the stack there that is now gone.
Jounce staying calm and getting things cleaned up here. T-Storm is now able to start building a little bit of a lead here as we go over the 50-line mark. Now it's T-Storm who's ahead in line, so it is 267 to 198. So we go over 50 lines here in game number 2.
Yeah, and as Jounce continues to burn, finally gonna burn out of it and score a Tetris there. T-Storm now has about a 4 Tetris lead. 64,000 points the difference.
About 3 scores. We do have that 4-line difference, so there's that Tetris for Jounce. Tetris is on 18 worth 22,800 points, and then every level they go up another 1,200 points, so when you get down to the end of the game, those Tetrises get even more important. If you can stay clean in the later parts, you can add hundreds of thousands to your score in a hurry. And of course, so can your opponent. That's something that I do like to remind, especially newer players, when they're just trying to play for new personal bests. If you survive for a really long time, you're going to give yourself a chance to just get more points on account of later levels that are worth more.
Yeah. As
That's
T-Storm
scaling.
is now... was at about 100,000 point lead, but as the lines tie back up, now about a 4 Tetris lead.
$369,000, nice for Jounce before that Tetris. Again, simply have to. And 457 for T-Storm on 95 lines. The players have basically been matching each other for a large amount of this 18. Another simul Tetris there. We're actually in the same pieces in the sequence. I love seeing that.
Oh, T-Storm.
There's a really rough misdrop in the center of the stack there. That bar is going to help, but we have just kind of a chasm here. A little bit of B-type going to be required. A little bit of fancy digging. T-Storm handling it pretty well here.
The bits-ish.
That's like a bit. And the slip triple, gonna get things opened up nicely. 520 to 468. Jounce is not clean either. We are staring down transition here.
As the thunderstorm outside your house decides to let its presence known.
Yeah, a little bit of weather outside my place. A little bit of weather. We got a transition at 502 for Jounce. T-Storm with this Tetris get a transition at 590, actually expanding on that lead.
At 90,000 point lead at transition. And both players are digging in the beginning of it. Tetris set up for T-Storm and gets it. Goes to 619 into level 21. Or 20, rather.
The most efficient way to dig out of to get out of a dig is with a Tetris if you can. It's greedy, but when it works so nicely. What's not working is these pieces for either stack. Both players in a dig about halfway up the board here. Excellent salts and Jounce to get free. Now just needs a bar for the score. There it is. 565 to 655. T-Storm still ahead by about 90k here. Both players now on level 21.
Jounce is set up and takes the Tetris there. T-Storm still having to do a bit of cleanup, but now set up, ready and waiting. Has to cover the well again.
The timing of these bars just not helpful for T-Storm stack, and now, depending on one in the center, does get it to open things up, but needs another one in a hurry. Jounce not exactly clean either words. Either words? Oh boy, I should have slept more. There's a Tetris for T-Storm, a T-Storm for Tetris. Yeah,
a T-Storm for Tetris.
I'm fine. 702 to 604. T-Storm is clean. Jounce still digging here. But perhaps knowing that they have that 29 in the bag, can afford to dig a little bit, but you don't want to give too much leeway either. T-Storm starting to cruise now, 763. This lead opening up into the six figures here. Both players on level 24.
141,000 points the difference in favor of T-Storm. Jounce setting up off of row 2 here, but the bar comes just one piece too late. Really wants this Tetris. Set up for it now, just needs the bar. There it is, row 2 Tetris for Jounce into level 25 at 660. T-Storm already there at 833. Take a Tetris to 864. 172,000 points now the difference. As we approach the kill screen, or rather that level 29, we've seen both players have a bit of playability on it. Jounce a little more than T-Storm, but the real question is, will it be enough? Jounce will score T-Storm, but so will T-Storm. I said Jounce will score T-Storm, but I don't care. Oh, the overflip for Jounce!
The clock is starting to tick here. T-Storm is absolutely cruising, 966 into level 27. Jounce is there at 797, so we're still looking at that 170k difference. A Tetris for Jounce on 27, and we'll finally get the well transferred back to the far right where it's most comfortable, where it's easiest to get the bar.
Max out for T-Storm.
833, so 200,000 now the difference for Jounce. Needs bars, back-to-back jacks to 903. T-Storm can use one, but not the others at A71. The T-Storm gonna try and get in as clean as possible.
And 1.14 T-Storm! And Jounce gonna be done on 29! As T-Storm cleans it out. It is still going. On level 30. And he's not even rolling.
B19 for T-Storm to tie this set up 1-1. GG.
Both players winning with 1.1s. And we tie it up.
What was once a best of 7 is now still a best of 7, but we're partway through it. That's how that goes, right?
I think.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a best of 5 anymore. Or at all, so.
Yeah, it's not a best of 5. We know that. It's best of 7, clearly.
Yeah.
First game was triple bar opener. Oh, yeah, that is something that can't normally happen in Tetris, but with these fixed seeds, sometimes some goofy things happen. But our players getting the seeds incremented. Getting themselves prepared. We've got ready lights. We're on them, knotted up at 1. Who's gonna take advantage, get momentum on their side? In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Ah, I was late. I tried. But I was late. Bar TS. No triple bars this time. Game 3 is underway. I don't have to worry about getting yelled at in the prediction. Nobody voted.
Oh,
Problem solved.
yep.
Underway in Game 3. Both players with stacks climbing to the ceiling. I'm guessing we're a little droughty to start off Game 3 here.
Vit set up from T-Storm there.
You know, just because he can. A little bit of stylo points. Now just hoping it doesn't come back to bite him. Another bar will come for the score. $99 for T-Storm through 26 lines. 27 lines, 120 for Jounce. I saw that piece just wavering back and forth. Jounce going, I don't know what I want to do with this. And just flinging it back and forth a couple times before finding a good spot for it. Oh, and then an early early movement on an S piece. And you can see even the VTuber is like, ay, ay, ay.
Gotta love how the VTuber reacts to the misdrops too.
Oh, yeah. Fly hack! Welcome on in. Oh, stream died.
Oh.
Refresh, quick, go, go, go. Oh,
Go,
God.
go, go!
And now it's Jounce. Did you not? Okay, no, okay, there's the pause. I saw it in chat and I was like, what? I was like, there's no way you did that without pausing. That's like a Tabanoku thing. But we are back underway. No harm, no foul. In fact, no line difference either.
Yeah, both players pausing at roughly the same time.
It's like they're just having a casual conversation in the middle of grand finals. Now, to be fair, that's not the most implausible thing when you're sitting next to each other in person.
Yeah. Or, you know, Alex falling out of his chair.
You know. I distinctly remember definitely having conversations with my opponent, with people, you know, just standing nearby, with the commentators while at CTWC. But it just felt like that kind of a environment where, you know, everyone was just there having fun as much as competing anyways.
Yeah.
We've got T-Storm on 362 and Jounce on 363. A little bit neck and neck, although T-Storm a little bit of traffic on the board. Nothing dangerous here. Easy to clear up with that T-piece. Gets well reopened. And a dead even tie right now with one line difference. 410,020 points for both of them. That's how you know you got yourselves a good set. And a couple of top-tier players. Both of them continuing to score, continuing to push each other.
We're tied again!
You love to
Holy
see
moly.
it. Good adjustment from T-Storm. One of the most important things you can have as a Tetris player is next box awareness, knowing what piece is coming, having a plan for it by the time it starts to drop. That can make all the difference.
A bit of an eyepiece drought has ruined our tie, but it is no bother.
That is quite a dirty setup for Jounce. Just gonna burn out of it very smartly. Bar does finally come, but no reason to try and risk that. Not when the set is still tied up 1-1. Tetris for T-Storm to 512. Jounce on 496. Couple of lines separating our players, so this is a true advantage for T-Storm. As both players now with one Tetris left until the 19 speeds in game number 3. 536 to 519. Tetris into transition at 543 for Jounce. T-Storm, Tetris, 566, has that one score lead. Here we go in the 19 speeds. T-Storm's got a small hole in the stack here, but that J is going to be perfect.
Oh, Jounce! Oh, T-Storm!
T-Storm with a couple of mixed drops in the center, now in serious trouble. Gets the bar over for a Tetris, but how much more can he do? Missed drop and bar on the right-hand side, and another hang. He's going to be done at 593. Jounce takes the lead in the meantime at 602 and goes up 2-1. GG. Things went sideways in early post for both players. Jounce able to dig out of it. Nothing arriving to help T-Storm's stack, and it quickly collapsed. You see the two bar dependencies on the left, and ugh. Arrgh. Our players getting set and ready for game number 4. Jounce now with a 2-1 lead. 2 more wins and we reset this bracket and we'll do it again. T-Storm still 3 wins away from ending it all. Oh no, T-Storm.
Oh no.
Don't you hate it when you're just, watching the stream and you get sentenced to buffer purgatory?
That's the worst.
Alright.
Do you have 2 readies, though?
And a game 4 to play.
Yep. I knew it. So let's count these players down. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
I'm gonna message Fractal about that.
It's like every other time. Maybe you should do it on the even game.
And see if
Yeah, see if it yells at you.
Oh lordy. We are underway in game number 4 here. Jounce trying to push to match point. T-Storm trying to tie this set up. Both players really playing some exceptional Tetris so far. Seen a lot of really awesome... oh, wow. Well, forgetting of the English language. I don't know if that's awesome or not, but we're seeing a lot of that. But also, the strategies, the way they rotate pieces to get things set up in just the right way, ways to get out of situations. 93 to 94, we're separated by a single early days in game number 4, which will happen a lot early on. I don't really see a lot of that striation until later. A little bit of early traffic in Jounce's stack. That bar is going to help, and we're going to keep things nice and clean here. Talking about how these players got to where they are in the tournament, as Jounce deals with another little bit of just slightly unhelpful pieces here. But how we got to where we are, T-Storm, the number 3 seed of the tournament, charged his way through the winner's side of the bracket, beating Richard Wolf, and then Winter, then Hannah, and then sweeping Jounce to wait here patiently as we took a little bit of time to get to the Final Four stream. We had literally everything decide to all come up at the same time. Jounce on the other side of the, well, also mostly on the top side of the bracket. You saw that 3-2 decider against 16 seed Wolbert before not dropping a game, or dropping only one game rather, in the next 2 sets against Alice and Dan, who you saw earlier in this stream, before getting swept by T-Storm. And then you saw earlier the sweep of Dan, a hotly contested set, but Jounce just able to keep things going a little bit longer. That's how we've gotten where we are. And in this game in particular, T-Storm taking advantage of just a little bit of digging on Jounce's side. We have a 329-272 game at the moment, about a 2 Tetris difference. We get over the halfway mark of the 18 speeds. Tetrises for both to keep that lead. You can see T-Storm behind by about 4 lines. So when you do all the math, which I know math is scary, but, you know, we can do it from time to time. If we team up, or if we make a program do the math for us, like on the bottom of the screen, we can do it. Center of Jounce's stack a little bit dependent, but finally the L piece is going to show up. There's a bar, there's a score. Now only about a 1.5 Tetris lead here. T-Storm having to take a number of little skims and stuff that's just slowing him down slightly, but now Jounce also in a little bit of a spot of bother. Could use some J pieces. That bar will help. Still J dependent on the right-hand side, but the well is at least open. There's a bar, there's a score. 394 for Jounce, 429 for T-Storm. We approach the 100 line mark on both sides. So again, transition slowly starting to creep up on our players. We've seen how efficient they both can be on the increased speeds. We're seeing that lead bar jump back and forth with the line difference. Left, right, left, right. Hello, Sky. 509 to 500. Jounce out in front, but also ahead by 7 lines. So T-Storm still holding on to just under a 1 Tetris lead here. Is that a perfect clear for Jounce? Kind of styling a little bit here. The crowd enjoys it. I know I enjoy a good perfect clear. I've been told that they're not very efficient. I don't care. They look cool. Especially if you do it with a Tetris, then all of the style points. Agreed, Kibi. shouting out Jounce's ping tuber for being absolutely adorable. Here comes that transition. 580 for Jounce, taking another Tetris. How about 616 for T-Storm, though? 36,000 point lead, 1.5 Tetris difference as we go into the 19 speeds. Both players absolutely putting on a clinic now. Into level 20. T-Storm with just a little bit of cleanup to do. Oh, and I think a couple of slight misdrops on T-Storm's side. He's going to be able to get things reopened. Ooh. And is getting aggressive here. A dirty left well to go to 701, trying to keep Jounce at bay by any measure possible. And Jounce, not to be deterred, takes a Tetris, has a real-time lead, 716 to 703, but is ahead by a handful of lines. Another Tetris from T-Storm, 730, retaking that lead. That bar on the bottom continuing to bounce back and forth. Tetris for Jounce, 772. T-Storm opens up with a skim, is ready at 761. Boom, Tetris, 790. 803 for Jounce. Neck and neck does not cover it right now. 850, 862. We're separated by 2 lines and a half a Tetris. T-Storm stack getting a little bit spicy here, a little dangerous. Is gonna squeeze the bar over for a Tetris, but now clean up to do. Burning off lines. And those are lines that Jounce is able to take advantage of. 958 for Jounce, T-Storm 893.
T-Storm probably just going to set up on row 2 here. We'll get the Tetris there.
Max out into 27 for Jounce. Jounce means business.
T-Storm waiting on the bar. There it is, finally 976 for him. All that digging, giving Jounce the lead.
And a single drop of give up on either player, though. T-Storm still playing on row 2, has got the max out now at 812, but B07 for Jounce with room for 2. There's one of them, B42. We could be looking at a 1.2 with some kill screen play if the pieces cooperate, but here we go into kill screen at B44. Tetris to go to B80. T-Storm's at A52, 130,000 points that he's got to find somewhere, and that is if Jounce would ever stop scoring. Jounce is not stopping scoring. A91 versus B90 and counting. T-Storm's going to get anything left. Can't quite get it there. A95 for T-Storm topping out. Jounce has got the C on the screen for 1.2 million points and the win in game number 4. And a Tetris down the center. Woo!
Jounce is set up again.
One more. Yes! Oh! Can we get that? Oh, not even going to try for the 5-tap. Not even going to wait for it. 1.292. That is bonkers. We're gonna
Apparently-
go to game 5. Oh,
Apparently all it takes to win in this set is Bs, 1.1s. Every winning score has been 1.1 or better.
the bees! But we've got 2 readies on the screen and a game 5 to play. Maddie, you count this one down. We'll see if it does it to me.
Alright. Watch it do it to me. I hate you. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Alright. So it doesn't matter, it just doesn't like me.
Oh, lordy. Kiwi, that has been happening specifically to only Maddie all day.
Yep. And you know, John's now up 3-1. Looking to send us to that bracket reset in only 5 games.
Maddie phobic bot.
Real.
Imagine being Maddie phobic in this day and or age.
We are separated by 1,520 points. As both players get off underway on level 18 here in game 5. Nice spin there for T-Storm, but it doesn't open the well, but this bar can be used. So both players will just trade Tetrises, still separated by that 1,520 points in favor of Jounce. As it is now separated by a single, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's a single point total. And there's the single. And we're tied up. Now it's T-Storm's turn. But Jounce's board getting a little bit disheveled. I'm going to do a bit of burning. And this is going to let T-Storm open up a bit of a lead if any bar would come. There it is, finally, Tetris for T-Storm. And sets up the Vits.
Halfway point of the 18 speeds, and we are, I'd say we're neck and neck. Would you say we're neck
We
and
were
neck?
tied at one point.
I think we've been tied at a bunch of points.
Oh, T-Storm, that S-piece though.
Kind of just throwing the stack away a little bit here just to get that bar and get the Tetris and then worry about the mess afterwards. Oh, Jounce actually passed up on a Tetris there. And has a spin tuck set up.
Doesn't go for it.
You want the T for that to be able to resolve it cleanly if you can. And you'll never guess what piece has decided it's not showing up. Does get the spin tuck, though.
The Spuck has been hit. And is just going to set up on top of this.
You know, just Jounce things.
But this could backfire. Good pieces, though. Now just waiting on the bar.
What do you know? A drought. There it is. Boom! Dirty Tetris. 378 for Jounce. 381 for T-Storm, who is also set up on row 3.
We almost got the number that's in T-Storm's name.
Almost.
Just 100 higher.
You know. But who's counting?
Certainly
Jounce
not
with
me.
the stack, trying to start building an advantage here.
He's ahead
T-Storm.
by about a Tetris.
T-Storm's still playing on row 2, just trying to stay as efficient as possible here. We are approaching transition once again. We are... Oh! Jounce with a bit of a structure on the left. Bit of a avant-garde approach to Tetris, if you will.
Definitely. Sets up the T-spin, doesn't wait for the T. No surprise there. Just gonna have to burn through this, and this is gonna let T-Storm not only claw back this lead, but also take one. As T-Storm is clean 2 lines from transition. Is a bit ahead in lines, but Jounce will make that up by burning.
Yeah,
And T-Storm will Tetris in at 5:29.
Jounce still with a lot of traffic on this board, and 1 line left before the speeds go up. Oh, that L piece was not friendly. Oh, the couple hangs in the center. Double flip of that bar. This might spell doom. We're going to see ourselves a game 6.
And indeed we will, as T-Storm at 582. Good for game 5.
How delayed do you think T-Storm's stream is?
Not very. He's on his phone. So he's delayed to us.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Probably at least 10 seconds.
All right.
Intensive keyboard noises.
Yeah, sorry about that. Having something in the background inevitably deciding now is when it needs to pop up. And I'm like, thank you very much. But we have a game 6 on our hands. We have readies on the screen. T-Storm trying to mount the comeback, or can Jounce finish the job and actually reset this bracket? One way to find out. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
It's just not doing it to you. It's so annoying.
It trusts me. It trusts me.
It does.
Maybe it's because I've restreamed like 450 matches.
I streamed all of Stackfox. What is this?
You did. You did. Stackfox was almost 450 matches. It took long enough it should have been. We may or may not have had about a 2-month pause between getting to top 4 and actually playing top 4.
Yeah, CTWC and a few other tournaments hopping in the way didn't help that. You know, everyone going to the World Championship and then a few tournaments here and there people were going out to.
A little convention out in Pittsburgh happened.
Yeah.
That interrupted some stuff too. Maybe separated by half a single there for a moment. And R again. Ooh, T-Storm. That's not where that L piece is meant to go, but low enough in the stack, we can find some creative solves here, and that's exactly what he's doing.
The solves that T-Storm does is just so... I don't even know how you see them.
Spending a lot of time in the lab. T-Storm, well known for being on that grind basically on days that end in Y. He's done so many, like, daily max out challenges, all sorts of different stuff, max out every level. Which means that on some of these levels that are technically not quite as efficient for scoring, you've really got to find ways to, keep things pristine and score as literally as much as possible. We are separated by 1,100 points right now. Just want to throw that out there. The 7-hour Stack Rabbit streams, indeed. So, if any of you are familiar with with chess, you know that chess has some engines that will be able to tell you the best possible move in a situation. And in the Tetris community, we have something similar. It's a very neat little tool that'll basically grade your placements and be like, yeah, okay, now you could just do this. It's way better. And a lot of players have used that tool to really improve their stacking in all sorts of different ways. T-Storm, yeah, definitely a lot of work on that. And you can see it with the very creative, very efficient solves that he is constantly finding. Right now, he just wants to find a bar to level the score off a bit. And there it is, 267. Have another Tetris. Jones will get one as well. 290 to 308, an 18k difference. Past the halfway mark on the level 18 speeds. You know, if we have a bracket reset, I'm going to have to refill my water bottle.
Well, Jones's board is a bit complicated. It does get perfect pieces to fill it out. And now just waiting on the bar for the right-hand side. There it is, Tetris for Jones, Tetris for T-Storm.
We're just firing them back and forth here now. That lead's still at about, exactly 19,000 points. Ooh, misflip there on the left-hand side for Jounce. A couple of different ways you can attack this, and that is one of the best there. Call that a rooftop burn.
402,000 at 86 lines for Jounce, and T-Storm at 383, but oh, Jounce!
Couple of misflips there. We'll knock down a Tetris, bring this stack down a little bit. Now got to figure out how to attack that awkward left-hand side, which, if the bars come for T-Storm, will allow him to bite into this lead a bit here. Separated by a single. T-Storm gonna take advantage, get a Tetris there. Jounce just about got this figured out, though. Gonna go ahead and fill in the dependency before going for the tuck. There, oh! I think you saw Jounce wanted to go for the tuck there. Piece didn't tuck, just took the burn and just couldn't react in time for the tuck of the T.
Yeah, and that's gonna allow T-Storm to open up a bit more of a lead than Jounce would have liked, but dirty Tetris there for Jounce to mitigate the bleeding. But the overall...
Another thing, especially in these longer sets, that you absolutely have got to take into mind as they go on is stamina, both mental and physical. Not tapping in particular can be very strenuous on the hand. Oh,
Jounce.
Sorry, I was saying tapping can get very strenuous on the hands. Rolling a little bit easier, but not that much, and your mind is constantly working this entire time, too. You don't realize just how mentally tiring this game can get in these extended sets. Transition for T-Storm at 580.
And transition for Jounce at 500. So 80,000 points this time, not quite the 90 that we saw that one game. And if this repeats as the 90k lead did, we might be seeing something happen, but T-Storm, that left-hand side, has to burn it down.
Burn this down to the ground, wait for a bar to open up that left. Bar comes, of course, at... Wow, yeah, no, I had two of them at a terrible time, but we'll get that triple. But Jounce, with an opportunity here to bite into this lead, will do so. 627 to 584. T-Storm still digging away, not in any danger at this point, but having to burn off line after line. So every time that Jounce finds a Tetris here now, it is going to slice that lead. T-Storm finally got it cleaned up at 634, 640 for Jounce into the lead here.
And we're basically tied up at the same line count. So that 80,000 point lead that T-Storm had going into the transition, gone.
And now, it's just going to come down to who can hold it together longer, who can stay more efficient. 694, 698, a 4K difference.
Tetris for Jounce. Tetris 4. T-Storm.
T-Storm is ahead by a handful of lines still, though. Oh, and having to create a hole in the stack.
Gonna have to
Get
take
the
the
bar.
triple.
Just has to bring this down ASAP. Playing on row 2 right now. A little bit less leeway moving those pieces around, and those squares were very bad. Johnson with the Tetris to 825. T-Storm on 772, just waiting for a bar at the actual right time. Finally a dirty Tetris, but a lot of work left to do.
But Johnson's board is also in a bit of trouble. Gets the long bar, though. And that'll clean everything up while T-Storm still has the holes. And T-Storm will go ahead
Getting
and...
aggressive, but
Yeah, trying to go aggressive here, but the piece is just not allowing.
Jounce starting to try and build a lead here. 904 to 824 into level 27, an 80,000 point difference. T-Storm has got to get this stack cleaned up in a hurry. His Jounce is squeaky clean. Another Tetris, 940.
And T-Storm closing in on this kill screen. 130,000 points behind. Set up for this dirty Tetris. Dirty Tetris for T-Storm. But gonna have to go into kill screen with this dirty board. His magic gets that bar to the left.
That square, though!
But the square...
Went over, but that's gonna do it at 893. Jounce at A26 now. Resets the bracket. Let's do it again.
And we go again. And Jounce just wants the center wall Tetris. There it is.
Jounce just wants another 1.1 just to keep that trend going, I think.
Trend has already been broken by the early top out that we had.
But basically all the other ones were 1.1s. Boop. There we go.
There it is.
40. You know.
Yeah.
Job done.
But that is going to be Jounce
Let me
taking
take that aside.
this one. Look at that. And now we go again. Let's go ahead and, you know... And... There. Unknown round. Alright.
It did say grand finals like multiple times already.
Yeah, I don't know what it's trying to do there.
Also, as a side announcement, we ran predictions for this full bracket, and the winner has been decided.
There we go. Oh, it didn't do it. Hold on. I hate this.
We will re-roll the seed.
There we go.
So, as we get things set up for a second set, new seed, Alpha Bravo, nice, 9-3. Because we're not going to have a foxtrot, we might as well have the funny number.
Yep.
And I'm going to get some more water. The 6 games wasn't enough to decide it. Let's have some more, shall we?
Yeah.
Can't party end just yet. Hope y'all out there have been enjoying the show. Our players absolutely giving it their all today. Seen a lot of exciting matches, and we are down to just one.
Yeah, the final match. There is no more after this. Oh my god.
T-Star trying to get that 6 high right.
Yeah.
That has got to be a good...
This is the bracket reset.
We have completely reset. This is for all the marbles. Number 3 seed T-Storm, number 1 seed Jounce.
I would do the proper bracket reset thing and swap them, but that's too much work.
Hashtag effort. John's Grand Finals 2 Revenge of the Vengeance, also correct. T-Star, why didn't you get water between the games, you goober? But hey, we got 2 readies on the screen. These players are ready for the Grand Finals. No reason to delay. It's time to play game number 1 for the last time. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
Four wins stand between either of these two players becoming the Stackfox champion.
Heaps of matches coming down to just one.
And to start off game 1, we're tied at 1 Tetris. Never mind.
1 Tetris would make sense. That is like a 6 high bits, T-Storm? Oh, T-Storm, please don't.
Oh, T-Storm.
Oh, boy. Getting a little spicy early. Alright, but finding his way back downwards, that got a little spooky. It actually is set up for a Tetris, because sure.
And there it is.
Why not, T-Storm? Why not get a filthy Tetris in game 1 of Grands? A bit of a unfortunate square on Jounce's side in the meantime, and a J-spin. Kind of created a nice little floor to help burn down the rest of this. I was going to say it looked wholly unnecessary, but upon a little introspection, it was pretty vital.
And all that burning that T-Storm did is given right back. So we're basically neck and neck again. Tetris for Jounce and Vitz.
You know, because it's Grand Finals. Throw in a little entertainment while we're at it.
219,640. We had the same idea for T-Storm and 213,940 for Jounce.
Jounce's left side mildly concerning and sets up for a T-spin. You'll never guess what piece did not come. In fact, basically everything else did. Now getting a little spicy here. Does get that bar over for the triple. finally, Boom Tetris for both. 289 for T-Storm, 250 for Jounce. We are on the same line count, so this is a genuine 1.5 Tetris lead for the player on the left-hand side. And Simul Tetris there off the same exact bar in the sequence.
Again. Simul Tetris so nice, why not do it twice? What a burn from T-Storm.
Yeah, I'm telling you, all that time in the labs, he finds things I don't think even the ridiculously high tier players, the Fractals, the Alex T's, he finds solves that I don't think even they would think to find in the heat of the moment.
Jounce.
Okay, that's a beautiful split double. I saw the
Wow.
second one went no way, and then it worked perfectly.
And gets the pieces to get out of it. Right hand side open. Tetris for Jounce stays alive.
Clutch
And now back
shooting.
by about 3 Tetrises. More like 2.5, but 380,000 flat for Jounce takes a Tetris to 402,800.
And
2 T-Storms.
Yep, 462 on T-Storm's side as both players knock down another score. T-Storm looking to not repeat what happened in the previous set. Doesn't want to fall behind early.
It's the 500k mark, a good benchmark for most people. At 115 lines, Jounce is already there, and 70,000 points behind.
T-Storm, little traffic on the board right before transition, but that is going to be a perfect single. It is going to take away one of his available Tetrises before going to the 19 speeds, but he does still have a healthy lead here.
And I don't think the game was giving the Tetris anyway.
No, both players mired in a dig. Finally, the bars come for both. 562, now 586 for T-Storm, 527 for Jounce after that Tetris.
T-Storm with still about that 60,000 point lead. Tetris for T-Storm. Tetris for Jounce. 637 to 602.
Chat pointing out, Jounce a little bit of a hero in our Tetris Freeze Discord, as they've done art of multiple people's Sonas. In addition to, as mentioned earlier, the Stackfox logo up in the upper right corner. We got folks cheering for both players, eager to see some good block stacking, and that is exactly what we're getting. 720 for T-Storm, 683 for Jounce. Both players at level 22. Well, these pieces, not exactly helpful for T-Storm's board, but those taps are so fast. Just makes it look like nothing.
And the adjustment, too. Has to burn into level 23. And Johnson is now in the lead.
800,000 flat to 787, 780.
2 very interesting scores.
Right?
Oh, but
7 more
Jounce!
Ooh, that is not where that was meant to go. Good little rooftop burn. Oh, went for the line spin, but didn't hit it. And Jounce now in a spot of bother. Again, you see how fast these pieces move with the rolling. Cleaning that up like it's nothing. The round numbers please me, says Aaron, and I agree.
And of course, covering the well right as the bar comes. Classic Tetris.
That's what game this is.
Oh, Jounce!
Jounce in a lot of trouble, way up high here.
Good burns, now just needs a bar.
That'll work perfectly.
Gets it to the left-hand side. Now really needs a bar. And the bar does come. But this is going to let T-Storm build up a lead, about 100,000 points right now. Nice flat bar burn there.
T-Storm got the max out in 27 at AO1. 874 for Jones, who's got a clean stack now. Knocks out a Tetris, 909 into level 28.
Tetris for T-Storm. Tetris for Jounce. Trying to claw back in. Jounce is in to kill screen at 983.
BO5 for T-Storm with room for one. He might have to try and pour on a little bit more afterwards here, but there's B41 into 29.
And both players off and running. T-Storm is left a little inaccessible. B47 can't get anything else. B47, 760. Jones, you need to chase down B47 to take game number one.
We're looking for a B48. And remember, they only have until level 39 to do it, where the game will get completely unplayable.
They do have the time. Setting up for the Tetris here. Waiting on the bar. Tetris for Jounce is going to close the gap immensely, as the Tetrises are worth so much on this level.
But this stack kind of had to commit a little bit of sacrifice to get it here now. A67 still got 80,000.
Gets that C to the left-hand side. Is managing to burn this down. Opens up the hole. Burns it down.
83, 64,000 and counting.
And the board is clean.
But the clock also starting to tick. You see, getting a little more aggressive. Now taking a
E01
triple down the center.
Oh, but needs a bar. It needs a bar fast.
No, double flip.
And Jones is going to be unable to chase down B47. So close. But unable to. And T-Storm will take game number one.
The A button is my nemesis. Yeah, that's been my controller for the last couple of weeks. Those double flips just absolutely brutal. Especially on the 29 speeds when you have no room for error. T-Storm, first lead in either set, up 1-0, one step closer to ending it all. John's looking to get on the board. Both players are ready.
Yep.
Usage exclamation mark 3.
We love to see it.
It's a tradition.
Game number 2 of the bracket reset in the grand finals. Let's get it underway in 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
So weird that it's doing this. But it is so funny at the same time. And completely different approaches to this start. And a missed tuck. Pointing out CT bot, only character to ever dislike Maddie.
Yep.
That is true. How can anyone dislike the Sleepy?
I don't know. What I do know is that both players are on their way.
They are. We have ourselves blocks falling.
We have a nice on the board.
We do have a nice on the board.
Not anymore.
We had a nice on the board.
We have a nice if you flip the... Nope, never mind.
Yes. Wintera, that was very believable. I definitely believe what you just said there. Guri, comma. We've got game 2 underway. Players separated by about a Tetris here. Jounce is going to level that off, but is ahead by 4 lines, or 3 lines, as a result. Sets up a bar dependency on the left. We'll see how long it takes for the next bar to arrive. Finally does. Couple more skims. We're going to take a Tetris up to 168. T-Storm's on 165, back by 4 lines. So, in truth, ahead in pace by that one Tetris as we get game 2 on its merry way.
And yet this seed seems to be one of the more droughty ones that we've had this game. As T-Storm waiting for this bar for a while, and it'll finally show up.
Yeah, these boards climbing to the sky before bars are showing up.
But both players able to play up that high, but that square for T-Storm. That caused just a bit of trouble. But yeah. Gonna bring it down with a few Tetrises. And now has to deal with this.
Jounce with that clean board, gonna take a Tetris and bring this to a 3,800 point game halfway through the 18 speeds.
John's gonna take another Tetris, and put him in the lead.
Yeah, Jounce still keeping it clean. T-Storm trying to find a way out of this dig.
Gonna set up.
Of course.
Up.
Oh, no, and then at the last second goes, nah, no, change my mind. 283, 334, so Jounce has been able to take advantage, build about a 2.5 Tetris lead here. Kind of the opposite of what we've been seeing a lot in these 18 speeds, where T-Storm's been able to build up an advantage, but Jounce's higher maneuverability on the 19 plus really coming through and shining.
You know, T-Storm said that he didn't want to play 14 games of Tetris, but with the way that this is going, we might be seeing 13 games of Tetris.
Well, won't have to see 14 games of Tetris, but 13 is a distinct possibility. Also a distinct possibility is this stack from Jounce kind of not great.
Missing that J-spin there. But gonna burn out of it well. Storm also running into a bit of trouble.
But getting the Tetris to bring the board back down. 368 for T-Storm, 436 for Jounce, who's got the advantage here. T-Storm now set up in column 7. Boom, Tetris. And a single to transfer the well over to 394. I realized we never really did talk about why Tetris players prefer to have that well off to the right-hand side. The way that the pieces rotate and the way that they're programmed to rotate, they'll often favor moving to one side over the other in that it'll take less inputs to get a piece over there. And in the case of the long bar, it only takes 4 to get it to the far right, whereas it takes 5 to get it to the far left. So obviously, if you have to move a piece less times, it's a lot easier to get there. So that's why you see a lot of times that well is focused on the right-hand side of the board. Tetris for T-Storm to 462. Tetris for Jounce to 529. Now about a 3 Tetris lead, although Jounce was ahead just enough in lines that one of those Tetrises could have been made up for, and has been actually. As T-Storm knocks down another couple, it's up to 508. Jounce building the center of that stack terrifyingly high. Transition for T-Storm at 532.
Transition for Jounce at 555.
So down to a 1 Tetris lead into transition for Jounce here. But that does not deter him in the slightest. Knocking down a Tetris there. Now needs a T for the center. See how long he
now
holds
needs a
out
bar.
for this.
Bar does come. And we'll score Tetris as well. So this lead staying exactly where it was, 42,000 points, the difference. As both players will score a Tetris. T-Storm ahead in lines will go to level 21 early.
But all those skims from Jounce kind of counteracting that there. Still holding on to a 40,000 point lead here. As both players go to level 22 with Tetris' 669. Hey now to 713. Ooh, I think that might have been an overroll from Jounce, but gonna clean it up very nicely. Oh, but the bar timing, really unfortunate.
Yeah, has to close the well. The well now reopened, just waiting on a bar. Holding out for it. Nice double there. Where's the bar? There it is. Tetris 4 Jounce. There's the bar. Tetris 4 T-Storm.
733 to 780. Add another Tetris for T-Storm to 762. 18,000 points in real time. And only separated by a line, so T-Storm is basically eating away this lead. But now that left side getting a little bit spicy. Will get a bar over. Excellent 5 taps from T-Storm.
Oh!
But that T-hang, very problematic.
Gets the bar over. Sets up! T-Storm is set up here. And the bar comes dirty. Tetris for T-Storm.
819, but 908 for Jounce, who pounced on that opportunity.
Oh, but Jounce's board now in a bit of bother.
Very dependent on just the right pieces, or this dig could take forever, and it would be T-Storm's chance to try and reclaim the lead here.
That's exactly what's happening.
Tetris to 900,000, 925 for Jounce, but Jounce is clean. We are separated by less than a Tetris here, level 27. Ooh, but a couple of awkward placements for T-Storm. Gonna need a bar and need it in a hurry.
Oh, but Jounce's board is also in a bit of problem again, but beautiful solve. Opens up that right-hand side. T-Storm set up on row 2.
T-Storm's gonna need every point he can find here. Because again, we saw what Jounce is capable of on 29. Tetris,
And there's a Tetris.
960 into kill screen.
And Jounce is done!
For Jounce!
But so is T-Storm. And we tie things up.
Folks, I think we have a finals on our hands. We're all tied up at 1. We have 1 ready on the screen.
Ferric, are you made of iron?
And now we have 2 readies on the screen. Game 3. We're all knotted up at 1. Who will take advantage?
Let's find out.
In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Shoutouts to the classic Tetris bot continuing to cooperate nicely with me.
Oh, do we have a bit of simultris? Nope.
Not anymore.
We did.
A short bit of simultris. But we are underway. Game number 3 in this best of 7. First to 4 takes it all.
Bracket reset. Jounce won the first one 4-2. T-Storm looking to bounce back. As a simul Tetris, and we're still separated by 1,520 points.
That is just 2 singles, which is the 2-line difference between the 2 players.
T-Storm will love a J, but will hit the S spin. And there we go.
Works just as well in the long run. 142 for T-Storm, 165 for Jounce, able to stay just a smidgen more efficient through these early parts of the game. T-Storm says, hold my bar, block. I'm going to set up dirty, and gets a Tetris.
And the adjustment of the T there to accommodate the next box. He's just going to set up on row 3 again.
Just trying to make sure that Jounce can't build any more of a lead.
And a bit of a misdrop for Jounce, but nothing too dangerous.
That is going to require a few burns here. I think Jounce was looking at possibly getting set up dirty there and then decided against it. Now the simul Tetris, 262, 288. Jounce holding on to a 1 Tetris lead. As we approach the halfway mark on 18 speeds. Oh, T-Storm is finally going up. I lied.
Perfect
Okay,
well
now-
transfer.
Now the transfer of the well over to the right-hand side.
And we are neck and neck.
.312, 336. Just 1 Tetris separating our players. Ooh, underroll of a J piece there for Jounce. Gonna require a few more burns here. Gonna give T-Storm a chance to possibly build a little something here.
Yeah, this is the... I think this is the longest lead we've seen Jounce have. It's a bit of indecision
Ooh.
with that S there for T-Storm. But beautiful burns to open up that right-hand side.
And now we are separated by 3,000 points.
A little more than 3,000 points now.
Now 3,040. So if you want to get picky, I guess, yes, it is a very little bit more than 3,000.
Oh.
Oh. Or the tracker has just decided it doesn't want to. Okay.
It did.
That's fine.
It... Huh?
It's 435 to 396. T-Storm out in
Okay.
front, but ahead by 7 lines as well. I'm just going to go read off the scores on the boards as I know.
It-
Oh, there we
It
go.
ran into a permission error, unable to open the file. Huh. That was...
That's unique.
You were right into it literally a second ago. What happened?
The score tracker getting 07s in chat. I appreciate that. 503 to 469. 4 times hey now. 4 nices in a row is Jounce's score. We are approaching transition to the 19 speeds once again. Score tracker is so back.
That's the first time we've had a score tracker issue since, like, the start of this tournament. What a way to end it.
It's not a Tetris stream if there's not weird technical difficulties.
Yeah, like the Tetris bot ignoring me every so often.
Every so often, you know, every game.
Yep. Every time I want to count it down.
Ferric asking, is there a term for when you sneak a block in sideways instead of just dropping it? That is a tuck.
Yeah, as
There, tucking
T-Storm's
it right in there.
board is a little troublesome here.
Ooh. All right, that is a very
Nice
helpful
tight
bar.
bar.
In transition, 540. But some great burns here to bring it down. Boom! Tetris to 567. Jounce on 545. Out of Tetris go to 569. Nice.
T-Storm
Oh,
just
missing
burning
the
out of this.
Jounce missed a T-Tuck, but is now set up for a Tetris on row 4 because Jounce things will knock it down to go to 620. T-Storm on 575. Playing from behind a little bit here. Got the cleaner stack, though.
Yeah, but the bar timing for T-Storm has just been unfortunate. Every time T-Storm has had to cover the well or run into a dig, and those misdrops for T-Storm.
580 T-Storm is done. Jounce not in the most comfortable positions, but at 656 has enough of the score to take a 2-1 lead. Hi, Lori! And welcome on in. Thank you for the party of 8 rating us. We are in the reset of the grand final, so you are here at a great time. Jounce with the 2-1 lead, 2 games away from the championship. T-Storm wants to tie it up.
The cursed number on Jounce's score. There we go.
Oh, right, T-Storm meant to get water after game 1. It is now game 4.
Oops.
Hashtag close enough. Wintera known as one of the fastest tappers these days. Regularly hitting like 18 hertz taps and just being like, what?
Yeah, one of the fastest tappers left that hasn't switched to rolling.
Blessing T-Storm with their tapping, saying, use it wiser than I do. We continue to update the challenge. While T-Storm is getting water, if you want to come hang out with a bunch of Tetris playing furries, we've got a link to our Discord, !Furry Tetris will let you join the Discord, hang out, doesn't matter what level you are, what kind of Tetris play you are, we'd love to have you. And at the same time, definitely check out the Fastest Furs Discord. A massive thanks, as always, for allowing us to host the finals of this tournament here. Couldn't do it without you. Definitely check out Fastest Furs. Oh! Jounce did a flip! Jounce did a flip!
Yeah, in case anyone missed it, Jounce, can you do that again? Can you do a flip again?
Jounce. Can you flip? Is
Whoa!
wow! With the big smile. The talent. Many wow.
And we have 2 readies.
Excellent. Is the
Let me just Yep.
right?
All right.
Yep, there it is. There it is. There's usage 3.
Yep. All right, let's get game number 4 underway as we have 2 readies. In 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, he actually flipped Tetris.
What a flip! Oh, lordy.
That was a full 180-degree flip.
So if Jones did that again, it would be a double flip?
Are you suggesting something?
No, not at all. I'm just suggesting that we have Tetris going on. We have players scoring points. Just breathe.
We do have Tetris going on. We are tied. 2 Tetrises apiece. And that has now changed.
And it is unchanged.
Nope. Changed. The game.
Yeah, this is kind of what happens in the early part of Tetris matches. Is you'll see a lot of ties because the lines are going to be worth particular amounts.
Whoa! We tie it again. And then we untie it.
And then it's tied again. Yeah, see?
The Vits
Oh,
setup. And there it
There's
is,
the bar.
Vits, and there's another
Yay!
for the Tetris.
So 163 for T-Storm, 163 for Jones. Yeah, we are exactly tied. Players literally matching each other line clear for line clear through the first 37 lines of this game. Wintera promptly yelling at T-Storm to use the tapping powers smarter. John's having a little bit of traffic, but clears it up, knocks down the Tetris. T-Storm getting built a little high here, taking some good safe skims, but this bar is taking its good sweet time. Finally it shows up. 234, 211.
Johnson's gonna run into that same drought. Oh, and it comes right at the perfect time.
Yeah, any later and that could have been disastrous. A good number of members of the chat now asking T-Storm to please stack better than them. And the blessing is a rental. Jones with a much-needed barn on the left-hand side to reopen the well is at 267, 329 for T-Storm. So opening up a little bit of a lead here as we get over the halfway mark of the 18 speeds. That might have been an overtap of that T piece, or it might have just been a stack health decision. Jones got a little bit high up there, but is going to get the well reopened. Now just waiting on a bar to actually show up at the right time. Finally does to 316. T-Storm with a split triple down the middle is at 340. So about a 1 Tetris difference here. And the line difference means, yeah, we are separated by 2 singles. All over again. All this time to be separated by single line clears.
Yep. Welcome to Tetris. At least the classic variant. We're separated by a single, I think.
Yes, we are. 760 points is 1 single. To me, though, that's part of the fun thing about NES Tetris is it's not all about speed. Speed makes a big difference in particular things, but it is just about being very smart with how you stack, being prepared for just about anything to happen, because you don't know if you're going to get that next bar. It might be, next piece. It might be in 40, 50, 60 pieces from now. Oh, you saw T-Storm was thinking about setting up for the bits and then backed out of it right as the bar came.
We are tied. At
Of course we are.
105 lines.
Of course we are.
John's finally gonna get that Tetris. Was waiting for a while. I'm having to do a bit more skimming to get this board back into a Tetrisable state, and there we go. Tetris for Jounce 529 at 119. T-Storm 572 at 122. Opening up about a 2 Tetris lead, but
Yeah, T-Storm looking at another 600 plus transition. 600,000 at 130 lines is kind of when you know things are getting serious. That is a mean score to get, especially in competition. 619 the score at transition for T-Storm. Jounce is gonna be burning in, and will do so at 558. So 2.5 Tetris advantage for T-Storm to start the 19 speeds. He's into 20 at 650. Jounce is at 583. Taking a couple skims. Can't quite get ready for that bar.
just having to continue to burn here. And that's gonna let T-Storm open up a lead.
T-Storm ahead by 6 lines, but also 80,000 points. And now the line gap closing a little bit as Johnson said, keep skimming. Tetris for T-Storm into 21 at 706. Add another one. Take 2, they're small. He's at 732. 595 for Johnson, who is now stuck in a dig halfway up the screen.
Would really like a long bar, and the long bar comes perfectly in time. Now the board is still climbing. Opens up the right-hand side. Oh, the left!
The left was so dependent.
Nothing burns. Needs something for the left. The T will work. Bar comes in, doesn't get it over, but gets the other one.
Over. What is that?
And opens the well. What? Jones.
How did that bar make it over? What in the Kentucky Fried? I won't finish that sentence. Ready for Dirty Tetris. Boom! Dirty Tetris to 669,000 points. T-Storm has made a huge lead in the meantime at 851. But Jounce, fire in the eyes, is just looking to bring this down. Keep this set going. Whew. And look at that. All the way back down.
But a 200,000 point
ready.
lead for T-Storm. 917 on 25. What is this, T-Storm?
T-Storm's trying to tie this set back up. 949, still in level 25. Tetris for Jounce up to 747, but this lead over 200,000 points now. T-Storm is absolutely in the driver's seat.
Tetris for T-Storm will give the max out. A15 on 26. Jounce at 800,000. Oh, but
the
T-Storm's
stacks
bored.
Oh, covered up the well right when the bar comes. Gets another one, gets it over. A53 into 27. Jounce is at 882, so trying to cut into this is making a little bit of progress. The lead's still 170,000.
T-Storm sets up dirty.
Very dirty. Covers it well right when the bar comes, and now is only triple ready. A lot of dependencies forming on this stack.
Oh,
And a
T-Storm.
double flip of the J is going to do him in at A59. Tetris is 986 for Jounce. We're looking for A60. A60. Jounce, Tetris ready. The next one will go into kill screen. We're going to see some kill screen play just to chase us down. A24. Another Tetris.
Oh, the double flip of the T.
Do it.
Gets the T left, though.
Double in the center. A36. We're looking for A60.
In the
In
Tetris!
style. And Jounce is on tournament point. Absolutely clutch digging. On the 19 speeds, that looked like it was 14 or 15 high. I don't know how high it actually was, but it was about 1 billion rows high. John's even saying in chat, 100% thought it was not going over. Literally given up. And instead is one win away from taking it all down. T-Storm's got the ready on the board, back against the wall, but it's not over yet.
It's not, and we have 2 readies. So you know what that means.
Game number 5. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
Tournament championship point for Jounce to become the first Stackfox champion, the first of many.
Just want to say, slight omen to start this game. That was a lot of T pieces for, you might say it was a T storm. Just want to throw that out there.
Very true.
But we are underway in game number 5. Jounce again just one win away from taking it all. T-Storm looking to stay alive and keep things going a little bit longer. Keep the party going a little bit longer.
The name of the song on right now is Push It to the Limit, and that just fits 100%.
Excellent. Again,
As
shout out to-
T-Storm!
Woo!
Oh
Kind of pushed
my
the
god.
segment to the limit. And is staying so aggressive. Finally gets the bar for the Tetris to get a little relief.
And we're tied.
So many aggressive placements on T-Storm's side, but he's gonna knock down another Tetris. Trying to stay efficient here. Shoutouts again to Kid Internet for the music on stream today. Friend of mine, awesome fellow, and pretty darn talented on the make musics. Jounce's board a little bit interesting. Gotta bring it down with a couple of skims here. T-Storm knocks down a Tetris to 147. Jounce is on 123 and dealing with a little bit of traffic. Or a lot of bit of traffic.
Oh boy. Perfect, Al.
Couple of doubles of the left-hand side. And is Dirty Tetris ready? Because why not have a Dirty Tetris? 155 for Jounce, 196 for T-Storm, who early shifted a square but managed to get a bar over it well high up on the board. Another Tetris is a roar, 218 to 179. T-Storm trying to bring the thunder, if you'll allow the stupid, terrible pun, because, you know, that's just a thing that we do sometimes. Has got a lead here in Game 5 and needs it. We're now ahead by about 1.5 Tetrises as we hit the halfway mark in the 18 speeds.
Adjustment
Yeah.
to make a bar dependency because of a bar in the next box, and it was the best move.
That's all that training, all that time spent being 200 IQ plus coming out for T-Storm. And he still has got this Tetris and a half lead. Jounce had a massive bar dependency down the center. Finally able to fill it in, but a couple of rough pieces. Does get a nice spin to keep the stack clean, but we appear to be in a bit of a drought here. Bar finally comes for both. 366, 347. Lead now less than a Tetris. Oh my goodness, that J-piece.
Wow.
T-Storm, why? Oh, Jounce's left side is a little bit spicy. Does have the well open. and taking a bunch of skims, as you can see, but ooh.
You ever heard of a sits, an slide? That's what Jounces did. Oh!
Surgical eye tuck setup?
Yep.
Yes, a very surgical move. I too like to tuck in the eyepiece.
Oh,
surgically.
Jounce.
Oh, Jounce. Why?
Oh, Jounce.
Why? Okay, takes the triple.
And fills the bar dependency.
My favorite Tetris maneuver is the DD-LBS.
That defying long bar slide.
I was gonna go double decker pounds. Not a dirty Tetris in the meantime. I look away for 1 second and Jounce is doing Jounce.
Yeah.
Of course. Yep. No. Yeah. Okay. That was a triple. 491 for T-Storm. 444 for Jounce, who is still kind of poking away at a dirty stack here. Had about 6 opportunities for a long bar flat. Took none of them. And this board is actually getting really spicy. We're right around the corner from transition.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, that's a big problem. That's a big problem.
And Jounce is done.
Game 5 in the books. Jounce is done at 448. T-Storm at 546 says this party is not over yet.
You know, this is eerily similar to the best of 7 before the bracket reset. This has gone the exact same way. And it's now up to T-Storm to continue this party.
The only difference between being the order of the first 2 games.
Yeah. As T-Storm, you are good. Just making sure that you hear that because of phone delay. Dirty Tetris there.
Just had to get into Dirty Tetris as well.
Yep. Don't forget to pray to the almighty Tetris' master of blocks and weaver of fate. How do you guys come up with this?
It's
Y'all are
Oasis.
talented fellows.
Oasis is a top tier goober. An
Base.
old college humor sketch. Also true. I remember that.
We
I
have
also
2
see-
readies.
Yes,
And I'm going to
indeed.
type this and expect it to, yep. I'm just
It never
preemptively
gets
doing I'm
old.
preemptively doing it at this point.
It
So let's
never
count
gets
game
old.
number 6 down in 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
Oh, it never gets old.
I wonder if it'll yell at me for 5. No!
Nope. No,
Okay,
no.
I'll just do 5
it's
then.
It's because it already yelled at you once. It only
Oh,
yelled at
you're
you
right.
once in a row. Yeah.
You're right.
Okay. All right. Game 6 underway. T-Storm trying to mount a comeback. Jounce trying to finish what they started. Woof. No, exclamation mark 69 would not work. It only accepts apparently 3 through 10. I was looking at the GitHub for the classic Tetris bot yesterday.
Yeah. It doesn't go any higher than 10. I actually thought it didn't go any higher than 5, but...
Oh, 3 through 5 and then 10. That also seems reasonable.
That means we can't
Almost-
do 7 for game 7.
That won't stop me from trying.
We'll just count down from 7, and then when you hit 5, you type exclamation point 5.
7 and 9 work. Yeah, see? Trap zone.
Ah.
Refuting. In the meantime, 117 for Jounce, 117, but slightly more for T-Storm.
But slightly more.
It was a half single difference. 117 plus a tiny smidge.
117 plus...
164, 920. Now
Nice.
hey. It's the messed up funny number. One time as a bit, I manually did a countdown for Chidori from 37 exclamation Excellent.
Jesus. It's 37 seconds of your life you'll never get back.
Yeah, but they may well have been worth it.
True. Tetris for T-Storm. To go up to 256, 880.
A 3-single lead.
4.
No, it's 760 per single. 760 times 3 is 2280.
T-Storm took another single.
Yeah, well, now they both took a bunch of Tetrises, and it's different again.
Okay.
Just take that, apparently.
My bad.
Tetris for T-Storm, 326. Jounce, 323. It's neck and or neck right now.
Can we call it tail and tail for furries? No. This doesn't hit the same.
No, it doesn't. And they're also kind of facing the same way.
Yeah.
Jounce got a bit of a spire on the right-hand side there, but is going to knock down 2 Tetrises. And now no longer has to worry about the spire, because it's just part of the stack. 373, 160 apiece. We're tied. Why not?
How many games in this bracket reason have we been tied?
Yes. Because we're tied again.
Oh my god.
Gravity squares. Hi, Aura. Neck floof and neck floof. That
Ooh.
it doesn't quite roll off the tongue, but it is excellent otherwise.
Yeah. Snout and snout.
Snout and snout's good. I like that one. What I don't like is these burns that T-Storm's going to have to do. It's going to let Jounce start building a lead here as we approach the 90 line mark. 442 to 464. Just not quite the right pieces for T-Storm to dig out of this efficiently. Because you know his mind is working 1,000 miles an hour trying to find the best way he can dig it down. Right now, it might just have to be survival. And he is going to get it cleaned up. 452 for T-Storm, 509 for Jounce. About a 2.5 Tetris difference. We hit the 100 line mark in game number 6. Again, Jounce 1 game away from ending it all. T-Storm 1 game away from bringing us to the decider to end all deciders.
The adjustment there from T-Storm to not set up the long bar dependency. As Jounce has a long bar dependency. Gonna open up the right hand side though.
Only temporarily. Gonna take a few burns here. But we appear to be in the midst of a drought yet again.
And we are closing in on transition. T-spin set up for T-Storm, but the T comes 1 piece too late. And T-Storm would really love... Oh my god!
Desperately needs another bar though. No real burn options. Okay, that
Not
J
like
makes
this.
it left.
T-Storm.
T-Storm's tournament is on the line with this dig.
Needs to get out of this, and we are running out of time to transition. Can anything go to the left-hand side? A square can, but we're running 4 lines away. And nothing will burn!
Nothing else is gonna go! T-Storm is done at 533, and your Stackfox Classic Champion, Jounce! Play it out! Go ahead and mullen it for us. Take your victory lap. My goodness gracious. Play it out for us, Jounce. Show off. Show us what you can do.
Hit that level 39. Do it.
Massive shout outs to all of our players that came on today. AV, Dan, T-Storm, and our grand champion, Jounce. Looking to finish things off in style. 69-420 on the board.
Oh my gosh.
And then back-to-back Tetrises.
This is a really good game from Jones to end it off.
Gotta finish it off in style. We get the nices in chat. So many nices. Let's see what Jones can pull off here. This is honestly a monster game. We're up to 894 and 24.
Even through these droughts, too.
Yeah.
925 on 24.
This would be a good time to find a raid target.
That's all you.
It just depends on whether we want to raid towards Tetris or raid towards furries. Or if one of our players is staying live. And then we can do both at once.
I am warning now, if Jones rolls over, it won't work. It'll roll over the score counter, too. It's not supported. And then we play a game 7 because it won't be enough, surely?
Oh, yeah, because clearly T-Star will have had more points.
Yeah. That's how that works, right?
Yes, we're stress testing it, clearly. A62 for Jones right now.
B32 now.
I had the wrong window pulled up. Brain going in 5 different places at once. A J piece for the center?
There it is.
There we go. Kind of
How about another?
A bit long. A Tetris to go to B71.
C into? C into.
CO7. How much farther are we going to take this? Let's go.
Set up, but where's the bar? What a burn!
Wow!
Where's the bar? Oh my!
How about another one?
No.
Oh, now we need it from the left. No, it didn't go! But C56! Goodness gracious! Great stacks of blocks!
And
that
let's
screen up there.
Let's get it up there.
That's that big old winner screen up there.
Hold on, wait, I forgot the. Okay.
Oh,
now we're
White
good.
Fox. White Fox, Stackfox.
There we go.
Ooh, Johnson's running any turny quickfire. Is that going to be over on Hydrant? Because we'll just raid you if you go live there. We can kill a couple minutes for you to go live. All right, yeah, we'll raid there.
Let's do our closing remarks.
Yes.
And then we'll raid on over there.
Oh my god.
Your champion. Into.
Whew. What an absolutely monstrous display. Jones, by the way, going 11 and 4 on the day.
That's crazy.
3 sets, back 3 back. About a bajillion max out. Give or take a few. And not to discount how all of our other players performed, some absolutely incredible play all the way around. AV and Dan putting on an utter show for us. Dan fighting hard up against Jounce. That scoreline doesn't tell the story. And then the bracket reset. All of our players doing absolutely fantastically. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to my co-commentator here, Sleepy Maddie, for initially being the one to set all of this up. Again, shout-outs to Error for the software, to Kid Internet for the music, and a million times over to Fastest Furs. Y'all, if you aren't already in the Fastest Furs Discord, please join them. Please make sure to check them out. If you want to come join us, ! Furry Tetris. We're always looking for new folks.
Yeah, fun fact, this tournament was based off of a joke. What if we ran a tournament, but only for furries? And look at where we came.
Whoops, we ran a tournament for furries, and it was a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
so many of you came out to hang out with us.
And you know, we might just have a little something in the works. So, if you're a furry and you play Tetris, definitely stay tuned to see what we have in store.
I mean, heck, even if you just like watching Tetris, we like to have block stacks over there. But in the meantime, everybody, thank you so much. Oh, hi! Hey, look, it's Kid Internet.
Oh, wow!
Furry Dr. Mario tournament? Don't count it out.
Don't count it out.
Do not count it out. Don't tempt me with a good time. I have that cartridge, darn it. No aura, and no. In that order, no. We're not playing... Nobody's playing Tetris 2.
Well, you'll have to...
Snestris would be a better tournament, and
Yeah.
that would be agony.
That'd be agony because the match would be like hours long, but you know... You'll just have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see.
Oh god, pyramids. Lori, please. I thought we were having fun here. Oh, we have been having fun all day, but that has been our time. However, our tournament champion may or may not be running a quick little tourney as well. So, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. We're gonna go raid Jounce's stream. Oh god, a Collins tournament.
Yeah, go give Jounce some love. Congrats again to winning the first Stackfox Classic tournament. And like we've been saying, there's more to come.
Yeah, I was about to say, here's to many, many more. A reminder to everybody to stay awesome, stay safe, and stay chill. Thank you once again.